Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to it's not a new stadium. It's just renamed. It's still a meadow, but it's not the different meadow. It's a crowd meadow, and on this occasion, used to be. Anyway, it doesn't matter what it used to be. But welcome to Charlton TV's coverage of Charlton Athletic versus Shrewsbury Town, and alongside me, and he's nice and early today. There's no lounges from the Nipindu. The legend that is Stevie Brown. Stevie, how are you, my friend?
Very well, thank you.
We're here, obviously, to bring you live coverage of this League One encounter, and Browning, it's been an issue over the last couple of weeks where I think we've started so well that a couple of little setbacks, and obviously the defeat against Reading and then the draw against Rotherham has sort of muted expectations a little bit. Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I think if you take it in isolation the last two games, then off the back of them there's going to be disappointment because we haven't got the 3 points. If you take 10 points from 5 games, 6 in the league, it's a pretty decent start. And I think if you'd have, or if you rewind time a little bit to before we kicked the ball this season, when you looked at the fixture list, I think if you'd have offered us 10 points after 5 games, you'd have taken it. But because we had that start, 9 points from 9 without conceding a goal, I think expectations rose just a tad. But I think the Reading game, we went into that with positivity. And in all fairness, I think they're going to catch a few out, Reading, particularly at the Medeski Stadium, if you call it that end these days. I can't remember what.
No, that's changed as well. That's changed select car leasing now.
Yeah, I thought you'd know. And they're going to catch a few teams out. I think they've got ambitions themselves of, pushing on from last season. They had the points deduction, but they were relatively strong at home. And then you look at the Rotherham game where I think they're still very much finding their feet after multiple changes across the summer, where the managers want to put his stamp on the squad. He's done that, and it's taken a little bit of time for them, but they're going to also be comfortably in the top half of the table, potentially in the playoffs. So that's not the worst result in the world last weekend. It was just the game was a bit dead, and the performance, I think, was a bit flat. And we had the one shot on target. Hadma had the best chance. It didn't hit the target, should have scored. And I think the worry probably is we're not creating as much as... I think that will worry supporters more than we've gone lost draw.
A couple of points on that, and we will show you the Rotherham highlights shortly. But you said it a couple of times, even before the draw against Rotherham. You said good teams and teams that expect to be there or thereabouts don't lose 2 games in a row. They might not win 2 games. Yeah. They might not win a bounce back game, but they don't lose 2 games in a row. Is that important?
Well, it's important. Yeah, but now it puts the pressure on this. Yeah, well, because I've come here today expecting us to win today. Particularly, they've had a difficult start. The only problem when a team has a difficult start like they do, and they made some critical errors, particularly defensively last week, and they've made a couple of changes to their back line, is this the week where they can't afford to concede a goal, so they take no risks in the defensive third? So are they ultra cautious today, and they've become this much tighter unit because of last week's mistakes? We will see. But this is one on paper you expect to win. They've lost 4 or 5. They've only won 1.
They've won 1.
Yeah, of the last 12. And I know that goes into the back end of last season, changes are made, but still, the record at the moment is 1-1 in the last 12 games. So they're on a poor run of form, and this is one I would expect us to take advantage of. But I do say this a lot: you have to earn the right in every game, whoever you play. And we've got to get on top of Shrewsbury nice and early and make sure that they feel the pressure. We've been. I think one of the differences between the 2 games of recent and the first 3 games was we were very much high tempo on the front foot, trying to beat people in their own half. That's kind of gone a little bit out of the performances in the last 2.
But was that down to, and I think Nathan Jones alluded to it in his press conference, that a lot, we like to press a team that tries to play out from the back, obviously. When teams like Rotherham are going to bypass the midfield and just knock it long, that negates that press a little bit, so the effectiveness disappears in that respect.
That's one way of looking at it, but then I thought we were relatively direct, so then we've bypassed. Can we pressurise up behind our long ball? I thought knockdowns last weekend were crucial to the game and who controlled it. They had more opportunities than us on target and off target. So regardless of style of play and being on the front foot, the tempo wasn't where it was in those first 3 games. However, whatever way you want to describe the tactics of that game, the tempo wasn't quite where it was before. And at Reading, it definitely wasn't there. Particularly that first 45. I remember us saying it in commentary. We were half a yard to a yard off, and that proved right. Nathan Jones sort of said as much in his press conference afterwards. But I think this is a game. Even if they bypass it, the tempo has got to be quick, like really sharp out the blocks. And if they're going to bypass it, why can't we go a little bit direct up the head, mate, and press in their half again? And then if there's a turnover from that, at least you're on top of them in their half. We've got to get on top of the game first and start to control the game rather than. I felt last week Rotherham, I don't think they controlled it at any stage, but they seem to have the better of us in terms of knockdowns, seconds, restarts, etc.
So in that respect, I guess the watchword for yourself, Charlton fans, the ones that have made their way here to Shrewsbury, and those watching on Charlton TV, and to be fair, even those that aren't, and Nathan Jones specifically, is we want that sort of high press to return, energy levels to return to the way they were in the opening 4 games. Yeah,
because I think that's what Nathan wants. He's stated that over the summer. I'm bringing in players that are going to be high energy. They're going to have fantastic levels of fitness. That's all we heard over the summer. Fitness work. We're going to outwork teams. Then go and outwork teams. And then obviously his job as a manager, if it doesn't quite come off, is to then reel back why that hasn't happened. But there's no reason today why we can't be really quick out the blocks on the front foot. This is a team, you have to imagine, that's lacking a lot of confidence. They gave away some horrendous goals last week. The defence has been in question. They've made 2 changes to that defence. Get after it. Doesn't matter who's in it.
Speaking from a Shrewsbury perspective, I mean, they started the season, you mentioned they ended the season badly last season as well. Started the season poorly, lost the first 3. They then won their first game against Orient here, and then you'd expect that to have given them confidence, but they went away at Wrexham and got done by 3. As a player, when you've thought you've sort of, stemmed the flow, you thought your confidence might come back because of a good win, and then you go away and lose again, does that really affect it? Does that have a double whammy effect, or doesn't it matter?
Yeah, I think it's a long time ago since I was in the dressing room tell, but
sorry,
what I would say is
but
I didn't like. I will say this to you: the noise outside is a lot different than the noise inside a dressing room, whether you're winning or losing, and. They're fully aware of the position they're in, and Leighton Orient at the bottom of the league and have had a horrendous start. So even though you've won that one, the noise outside is going, well, it's Leighton Orient at the bottom. You haven't picked up anything else. You've beaten the team bottom of the league. That's all you've beaten in the last 12. But it was 3 points that they absolutely needed, and that 3 points has put them into 21st. Without that, they would be 1 point above Leighton Orient. So it's a struggle to start with, and only those players can sort it out, and that does take a little bit of character, a little bit of bottle, and they might have to just change their style of play a little bit. They might have to box a bit clever, they might have to play a bit deeper, they might have to protect themselves defensively today, but that again, we can't worry too much about them. We have really got to make sure this is about us, get on the front foot nice and early, and make sure that we don't let them settle into the game. I think that's really important. They're a team struggling. They got pumped last week, and I think a lot of teams are going to get pumped down at Wrexham, so there's no disgrace in that. But I think it's down to us to unsettle them nice and early and put them on the back foot, because if we just let them play out and they get a foothold of the game, I think we've lost the impetus there. This is a team that needs to be put under pressure to see if they can withstand it.
You mentioned just now about the noise outside the dressing room doesn't tend to affect what goes on inside. Footballers tend to be notoriously superstitious. So I mean, we haven't exactly done superbly here over the last few seasons. We had the 1-0 win with Raksaki's goal in 22, but other than that, it's been 0-0s or 1-0 draws, or famously in the playoff semi-final, we got done by a late goal. Does that do footballers look at that sort of thing and are they superstitious in that respect, or has it no effect whatsoever?
I wouldn't. Again, I can't talk for others, but I can talk for myself. My times at Charlton, Burnley, Sheffield United, horrendous. Went to Reading, never lost to them. So it's weird, and you do think.
So it's from a personal point of view rather than a team point of view.
Yeah, I certainly knew, and then I was at Charlton a very long time. I was there 14 years, so it's like our record against Millwall. It's horrific, and you know it, but you don't go into that game thinking our record's horrific, so therefore we're going to struggle today. That's absolutely not your mindset at all. After you might think, I can't believe that record. I can't get over it. How do they do it? But what I would say is I'm going to counter your team results with a Chuck Tanike stat.
Go on.
I think he's I think he's only lost once in 12 games playing at Shrewsbury.
Well, there we are. We'll take that all day long.
And that's credit to James Waller.
So, any superstitious out there, any people, fans out there that are superstitious, that's just nailed that to the mast. Good.
Yeah.
I'm not, generally speaking. I never was.
No.
Never.
You say footballers are notoriously superstitious. I didn't know too many.
But when I played, much lower level, of course. But when I played, there was a number. The Paul Ince thing about not putting the shirt on until you come out the tunnel.
Yep.
There was little quirky stuff like that, and touching the ground, and not putting the shin pads on in a certain way. All that sort of nonsense.
Yeah.
But, and I'm looking at them going, you're mental.
Yeah. I had a routine that I like to do. I like to be at the ground at a certain time, do things at a certain time to give myself, right, I need 15 minutes prep there. I want to start thinking about my job, my opponent, who I'm marking today, that sort of stuff. I always wanted 15 minutes from quarter to kick off. I wanted to be everything done. So but that's not a superstition. That was me preparing for the 90 minutes.
Well, that superstition's out of the way. We'll concentrate more on the football now, and we have got highlights to show you of that run. We'll talk over the Rotherham highlights as far as we can remember them, because, as I say, it's been a week since then, so we've all had sleeps, and Steve Wren's obviously consumed copious amounts of alcohol in between.
I haven't, actually.
No, you're on tablets, you're not allowed.
No.
So we'll try and remember them as best we can. But the Rotherham game, it was... I wouldn't say strange game. That's probably not fair, but what we were expecting a bounce back, and we got that to a certain degree. The goal from distance, will that concern Nathan Jones? I mean, it was a decent shot. That's two in a row. One at Reading, then again at Rotherham. It was about, would he score that again? I remember famously Alan Kerbesley saying, you want players to shoot from 25 yards because the odds on them scoring are much less.
And that still remains.
Yeah.
We've just been right. My complaint about Rotherham's goal is not the distance. He was allowed to travel. The midfielder was allowed to travel a bit too far. But I've got a shot where I pause it. The ball's not left the midfielder's foot, and we've got two players within a yard of the ball. They could have done a lot more to block that. And I said to Keith Peacock after the game last week, I wasn't known for many things, but that shot wouldn't have got away. And that's what I'd focus on was Nathan. I wouldn't be too critical. It's still a brilliant strike, and like you have to remember, my brain works immediately on defensive, not the strike. And the strike is wonderful. Chuck's and Eco's strike is wonderful. They were two excellent goals. But there's always a breakdown from a defensive perspective. And my breakdown of that is, why did you make the effort to get that close to him and not throw your body in front of it? And that takes a little bit of bravery from the individual, right? So I'll name a player in my team. John Robinson wouldn't have made that block. I would have made that block, right? What Nathan's got to do is the two that went out, he's got to convince one of them next time to lay down in front of it.
Is that a play thing? I mean, because if you get the feeling that if it had been on the edge of the penalty area, right on the edge or anywhere in and around the penalty area, people would have thrown themselves in front of the ball. Because it was so far out, they thought ushering was enough. Maybe
there's that mentality to it. Maybe it's because it's two midfielders. If a centre half goes for that, it's his job to block that. Yeah. That is my job. You're in my penalty area. I have to block this at all costs. Midfielders go out and probably do think that ain't going in. It's 30 yards until it goes in, and then you're like,
I'm in trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to get a slap here. Yeah. Or I'm going to get a verbal, after the game. That's the risk you take, and this is what we take. When I say about young kids learning and making mistakes on the job, that'll be one. Because when you go back in that dressing room and you haven't laid down in front of it, something undoubtedly is said. If it's not in the dressing room that day, it'll be an analysis back at the training ground. And like I said, it's then, once you've realised you went out, you think job's done and it's hit the back of the net, next time you can't make that mistake again, because then you start losing your place in the team. And that's what starts happening across the season. You do it once, you get your verbal warning, you get what the manager wants moving forward. If you go out and do that again, it screams in the back of the net, there is a chance you ain't playing the game after.
You touched on it just now about Chukwuemeka's equaliser, and what a wondrous strike that was. And he's making a habit of it, the pre-season friendly at Palace, which you did as well.
Yeah, that was a very good finish as well.
That was a quality finish, and I've described it on Saturday as a humdinger. I'll be expecting you to know exactly what that means.
Yeah, I do know what humdinger is.
Did you ever use that phrase? Am I the only one?
No, I
seem to be the only one.
humdinger.
Because Chuck's had to look it up. But then he's younger than me, so you'd expect
there'll be words Chuck describes it as that we won't have.
Oh no, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, what in terms of what Chucks can bring, and we know what he can. I mean, that must do his confidence a world of good. Keeping him fit, of course, is still the big deal, and so far so good. I'm touching as much wood as I can see. That seems to be the case. I mean, if he can keep producing things like that, then we should be in a good place, shouldn't we?
Yeah, because it's an asset. You know, I can't change my slant. I've said for some time, with Chucks, you've just got to make sure that he's fit and available for 30 to 40 minutes a game, depending on where the game's sat. You want to be able to control that, which means you're in the lead most of the time. To be, you don't have to give him. It's not always about Chucks coming on and getting us out of trouble. It's about Chucks coming on and enjoying the last 25 minutes and trying to add to the tally. However, last week and the week before, he was chucked on in situations where we needed a reaction. Reading, we didn't get it. Gordon and EK in the field of play made no difference at all to that performance. If anything, it disjointed it, and they went on and got a second. However, last week we saw what Chucks can do and how disruptive he can be when he comes on and he's on top of his opponent. And the finish, like you say, it was absolutely sublime. But as that ball come across to him, he put his studs on top of the ball. The angle of his body, it only was going one spot, but you still got to execute, and the execution was outstanding.
Well, that's the Rotherham highlights and discussions pretty much done and dusted. So I'm going to take a little sidestep here and just ask Brandy, you've heard of the Barclays men, have you?
Yeah, I got asked this on the way up, didn't I? And the answer is no.
Originally, no, but I think you're aware now.
Oh, I'm not aware what it is,
yeah.
But I haven't seen anything.
Well, Barclays men basically, I think this, and I'm not fully au fait with it, but as far as I can make out, it's players who play for Charlton in the Barclays Premier League era. Now, well, that was a discussion we had. You couldn't remember if it was Barclays or Barclays card.
And I
said, so you got to go back and check your man of the match.
I will put that. I will put a picture on. I'll put a picture on tomorrow. Yeah.
All right. But one person who was definitely in it was Darren Bent, and scored some wonderful goals. So we're going to show you now a Darren Bent goals video from his time at Charlton in the Barclays Premier League. So there we are. That was Darren Bent's goals in the Barclays Premier League, and I mean there was some. He scored some great goals. And do you know, I do the Valley tours for the club, and you look at the international honours board, for example, and you see players up there, and you try and talk about a few of them, or as many as you can. And I'm old, so I cover quite a few. I always maintain that one of our best midfields during that Premier League era, regardless of Barclays Cup, was the Darren Bent, Alexis Mertin, and Kishishev and Murphy. Because the runs he was making and the creation from that midfield, that three-man midfield specifically, as well as the wide players, but the runs, the arcing runs he made as a forward was as good as I think I've ever seen. I mean, I thought that was some of the best football we played.
Yeah, I mean, Smertin and Murphy were superb players, you know, and it's always a matter of perspective, isn't it? Your own perspective and what you deem as the best and the worst. But Darren was a superb finisher. We haven't got, you know, we haven't seen the pictures that have just gone out. I certainly haven't seen it, and I know from it, you know, from seeing Darren's, you know, personal reels of goals that he scored for Charlton. Some of them are stunning, and what is the key feature of most of them? Runs off the shoulder. breaking in behind the lines. It terrifies back lines. We don't see it enough now in modern day football, but he had the ability to drop his shoulder, spin in behind, and once he got half a yard away from the centre half, he was away. And not only that, he had the calmness and composure to finish as well. I didn't get to play in the same team as him, but I got to witness quite a lot of his performances. Super finisher, super addition by Alan Kirbyshire to the Charlton lineup that year.
So who would you say then, I'm going to put you on the spot, as and when you were playing for Charlton, who would you say was the most, I don't know, best goal scorer, best striker, or most natural finisher? I don't know, you can pick in your time playing with Charlton.
The best goal scorer was Clive Mendonca.
Yeah.
The best striker for me was Andy Hunt.
Yeah,
all round. He worked channels, he held the ball up, he scored left foot, right foot with aerially. He was the most complete all-round striker that I've ever had in an 11 that I've started in. The midfield, you can't look past Parker Kinsella for me. You know, I don't know many. You know, you might say the creativity in the forward runs from those guys. I didn't really get to see Smerton and Murphy play that much. But even if you gave me the option today of taking Smerton, Murphy or Kinsella, Parker, I'm taking Kinsella, Parker. You know, and that's why I say it's a personal preference.
So there we are. Personally, I mean, I get asked that question a lot about natural strikers in my time at Charlton, not just Premier League, but time at Charlton. And that's a tough one to call, because I've seen some crackers. Derek Earls, of course, up there. When I first started watching Charlton, it was Ray Tracy, and fell in love with that fella because he scored some crackers. So I'm a bit tainted by age, I think, because I think it's a tough. You know, it's like every position, I suppose. You say who's the best centre half you played alongside, and all that. There's so many different players with different attributes that bring different things to a side. Picking one, that's why I'm rubbish at picking a side, like my all-time best team.
I thought Duffy might be in your top three.
Behave yourself. Harsh but fair.
Yeah, just the next guy.
If it isn't, I'm going to be absolutely
You're right, lads. Is that all right? You both you the same way? Is that all right? Thank you. Cheers, always. Thank you.
coming through now. Better?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, crystal clear. Very difficult to navigate through this, though, isn't it? When you don't know who's doing what, where it's coming from, when you can stop talking. It's difficult. You haven't got pictures of what's going on. Very difficult to navigate.
Well, welcome back to Charlton TV. That was Lloyd Jones, and I mean Nathan Jones has said publicly that he had Lloyd Jones before. He knew what a good player he was. Lost him through injury a lot last season, and he's now reaping the rewards of the Lloyd Jones he was expecting, and as are the club and the fans. And I think alongside Kane Ramsey, been exceptional for us so far this season.
Yep, I think they're the two you pick out. I mean, Mannion, Jones, Coventry, and Gillespie. I think are the four that have played every minute of every game. I quite like seeing two of the back three playing every minute of every game, and I think Mitchell's played every minute of every league game as well. So that back three and the goalkeeper, plus the two wing backs. And I know left wing back Terry Small didn't start the season, but that five of the back six, if you like, are all playing regularly. And if you look at Shrewsbury struggling at the bottom, two changes to their back four this week. That's what you don't want to see. So yes, Jones is doing really well. So is Kane Ramsey, but the fact that they're all playing every minute of every game, starting to get these patterns, and they're starting to understand each other a bit more. So I think there's more to come from them as a back line.
Well, we can see the officials in the tunnel, and they're just on their way out opposite us here at the Crowd Meadow Stadium. And as they do so and come across towards the halfway line, I shall read you out the two sides, starting with our home team. Shrewsbury Town, in goal for them, number 1, Toby Sevin, 2, Luca Hoole, 3, Mal Benning, 5, Morgan Feeney, 6, Josh Feeney, 7, the captain, Carl Winchester, 9, George Lloyd, beg your pardon, 11, Giles Sago Jr., 12, Funzo Ojo, 17, Alex Gilead, and 19, Leo Castledine. Subs for Shrewsbury are Joe Young, Taylor Perry, Tom Bloxham, Toto Nsiala, Jordan Shipley, John Marquis, I beg your pardon. I said that last time, and I've got it right now. Tommy O'Reilly as also the last sub for Shrewsbury. Your Charlton side will line up with in goal number 25, Will Mannion, 2, Kane Ramsey, 3, Macaulay Gillespie, 4, Alex Mitchell, 5, Lloyd Jones, 6, Connor Coventry, 7, Therese Campbell, 8, Luke Berry, 9, Gaston Ahadmi, 10, the captain, Greg Doherty, and 26, Thierry Small. The subs for Charlton, Ashley Maynard Brewer, Dan Potts, Chuck Saniki, Matty Godden, Tene Watson, Alan Campbell, and Daniel Carnu. Your sub for, the referee for this afternoon's game is Sebastian Stocksbridge, and his assistants are Oliver Bickle and Thomas Cook, not, I suspect, the famous travel operator. So just that Charlton, you mentioned about the Shrewsbury changes, and they've made a number of them. Charlton have been fairly consistent, and with a couple of changes up front, maybe Ahadmi now alongside Campbell, last week was alongside Godden. So apart from a little couple of tweaks here and there, basically it's the same side. How important is that?
Yeah, I think, like I said, for the reasons I've just stated, that you get to understand people's mindsets and the patterns, that, and how their brains work, and the patterns of movements that they're showing, and how they anticipate the game. And then you get to trust people. That if a ball goes up in a certain way, if you're Campbell, you can take a risk now. Hadman's got half a chance of winning this. I'm off. Godden does it really well. Tyrese has got to learn that part of the game, but then Tyrese does things, that I think are exciting off the cuff that defenders can't read. So I can understand why he's gone back to Tyrese. I thought the half hour we saw last week was brilliant. He's got to start producing that over 90 and consistently, and both the front boys need a goal. I'm not saying that being critical, I'm saying that for their own self-confidence. Both of those, I'd love to see them get off a 0 today.
Well, if you have purchased a match streaming pass for today, you can also purchase an annual pass for just £230, which gives you exclusive coverage of every league game. So if you have just bought the game pass, of course you're very welcome, but just think on, you can save yourself a bit of money if you are planning to do one every game by buying an annual pass for £230. But for now, we'll concentrate on the game ahead, as it'll be the home side, Shrewsbury Town, in their blue and sort of orange, I guess, stripes. showing the new grey kit here for the first time this season, and an early handball from Tyrese Campbell as he went to charge down the ball out, and you'd expect and hope that the Addicts will be doing a fair bit of that this afternoon, but in the early stages it's Gillespie to the left hand side, back inside to Ojo. Ball forward is dealt with. Nice block from Jones on his striker Lloyd. And Charlton send it forward, looking for a Hadmi to chase it into the corner. Beaten to it on that occasion by Feeney, and then there's a foul on Berry. I think it might have been as he was trying to get to the dropping ball. It was Berry. And Charlton have a free kick, 10 yards, maybe 15 yards inside the Shrewsbury half on our left-hand side. Connor Coventry over the ball and is asking Charlton centre halves to go forward. So Gillespie and Jones and Mitchell join the strikers, but it's quickly worked free kick into Campbell in the left corner of the penalty area on the outside. Trying to get a cross in, takes a deflection, and it rang kindly in the end for Savin in the Shrewsbury goal.
Yep, don't mind that. Don't mind the variation. Trying to get Campbell 1v1 inside the penalty area. He manages to get the ball to feet, gets his little turn on. He's 2v1 against, and he can only drive to the line and try and cross. Takes a little deflection and goes harmlessly into the arms of Toby Savin, the Shrewsbury goalkeeper. But we are on the front foot. We are trying to press. You know, it's got a little difference of systems. 4-2-3-1 for Shrewsbury, 3-5-2 for us, but we are very much on the front foot, trying to win possession high up.
And that press made immediate benefits initially when Terry Small won the ball back, but Shrewsbury battled back and got possession, and then a throw-in off of Mitchell, which is just inside the Charlton half on the Shrewsbury right-hand side, but they work it backwards to Feeney. I'm going to mention Feeney a lot because both centre-halves are called Feeney.
Can't get it wrong.
No, that's true. So you'll hear it a fair bit. Well, I hope they do, because it means they're busier than we are. But it's the other Feeney, Josh, who brings it forward on the left-hand side. Tried to send Benning through on the channel on that left, but he's not going to catch up with that. It's too much put on it. And 10 yards away from the corner flag, Charlton will have a throw-in.
Yeah, so we've got to really be systematic on how we press. You don't want to be wasting energy. They look like they're going to play out from the back. They got caught out last week. It's not deterred them. They're going to keep continuing to build up play, back to the keeper, out to the back four, and then through the lines. Feeney driving 20 yards, the left-sided centre-half out, trying to find the left-back, Benning, who's advanced high up the pitch. Saw a couple of wicked deliveries from Benning last week, so any set pieces, he's going to put us under pressure. But yeah, the early stages are when to go, when to stay on the press. You can't chase everything down.
Well, a throw-in from Mitchell went, I thought it didn't come in play, but it's supposed to have come in and gone back out again. So the Shrewsbury have the throw, but they do nothing with it as Ojo knocks it straight out of play when he was looking to give it back to Benning, I think. That went wrong, and Charlton will try again. And Mitchell on this right-hand side, just beyond halfway inside the Shrewsbury, inside the Charlton half, will go down the line with the throw, looking for a Hadmi. Can't get there, but Benning's head up goes out of play. Charlton make about 20 yards on that.
Yeah, I mean, you could throw a net over the two teams here. It's boxed over, it's classic boxing in. I'd love to see us, you know, I know it's early stages, but the idea is you've got to get away from the pressure. This is fight ball now. Because it's boxed in and over on one side, someone's got to get their foot in it and try and switch play.
Well, Hadmi touches it into Berry, and Berry's trying to send Campbell through into the penalty area. It's cleared away, but it's for a Small, and he might line up a shot here. Does! But,
that has hit the back of the stand.
That has actually hit the back of the stand.
Yeah.
It wasn't certainly not one he'll remember fondly, Thierry Small, but it was a nice build-up. Alex Mitchell's head up back into the danger area, touched by a Hadmate into the path of Berry, whose attempted slide rule pass into Campbell didn't come off, but it was a nicely worked move which deflected into Thierry Small's path, but he couldn't get his shot on target, and we remain goalless here after the first 4.5 minutes.
Yeah, I think Berry shoots. I think we've done really well to win the seconds, you know, which gives you that territorial advantage. You're on the front foot, you're 23 yards out, you're only 5 yards right of centre. In these early stages, I'd like to see him shoot.
Hadme just beaten to the dropping ball by one of the Feeneys. Charlton win it back, and it's away across here to Ramsey. Ramsey superbly past his man Ramsey into the Shrewsbury half, trying to send Doherty on his way down the right, and he just gets there via deflection from Benning into the right corner, tries to get it across. Benning blocks it away. Charlton had the first corner of the afternoon.
Yeah, excellent from Ramsey in the right wing back position to beat his man. You've got to see players willing to do that. He goes past Sago Jr. He doesn't look like he's going to be great defensively up against Kane Ramsey. I think there's a chance for Ramsey to get forward today. Excellent run off the shoulder from Berry, extending their back line. He gets in behind the left back Benning, and then gets his half yard and whips in the cross, which is intercepted for the throw-in. But that early sign there in that 1v1 battle, Sago Jr. with Kane Ramsey. Fancy Ramsey to have the better of him today, attacking wise.
It's going to be a Connor Coventry corner. As Berry came looking for it short, but he's gone away now. Campbell thought about running towards it, but it's sent in to the edge of the 6-yard box. Jones gets something on it. Berry's going to finish, but he's offside.
And he didn't finish.
Scuffed it. I think he knew somehow, because he sort of made a half-hearted attempt, I think, to put that ball away. I think he knew he was offside.
You wrap it in the back of the net, regardless of what
true.
you think. That's what you do, and then you look across. What I would say is,
Coventry with a great challenge to win the ball back for Charlton, and now it's Campbell into Doherty, into the corner of the penalty area. Again took a shot which he didn't quite catch cleanly, and Shrewsbury can get it away, but Charlton's pressure and high intensity off the ball is certainly causing Shrewsbury problems in the opening minutes.
and they're not dealing with it particularly well, and you've seen already the confidence in the team as we start to take control. They look a little bit shaky, they need to settle, but we've got to keep doing what we're doing. But what I did like about the corner routine was it was a lot of movement. You've heard me said over the last couple of seasons, not enough movement in the box, not enough. There was a lot of movement on those two set pieces. I like to see that.
Mitchell trying to make his way down the right hand side after he got the throw back from Doherty. Was stopped by a combination of Sago Jr. and Ojo. Charlton will have a throw. Try to take it quickly. It was moved down the right hand side, which was put out by Benning. Charlton tried to keep the tempo up. And that might catch us out once or twice here, by the way, as Mitchell takes another throw. This one's looking for a Hadme. He gets a flick on. Campbell will chase and press Feeney. Cleared away. Hadme levers Benning out of the way, tees up Doherty, and Hadme was taken out afterwards, he felt. Referee waves it away, but the clearance goes straight to Mitchell. Inside to Gillespie, trying to lift the ball through to a Hadme into the penalty area. Hadme might get there as well. Little drag back into his own foot, across into the penalty area, headed clear. Might drop to Connor Coventry, who tracks a shot! Oh, just wide of the post and off the back stanchion. And the Addicts coming close to opening the scoring.
Yeah, I mean, it's an excellent effort from Coventry. He's kept that under control, a half volley, difficult skill, kept it under the crossbar as well. I thought that was going to rip the back of the net. Savin diving away to his right, the Shrewsbury goal. I don't think he had that covered, and it was so close. It hit the blue post that holds the net up behind the goal. But again, it's not attractive football, but it's effective football. It's down the line. It's winning the knockdowns. It's winning the flick-ons. It's feeding the midfielder. It's switching play. But in that last build-up play, there was a lovely ball from Mitchell across to Gillespie, and Gillespie's ball to Hadme off the shoulder of their centre half was really good play.
And the clearance from the goal kick from Shrewsbury sounds out of play on the far side. It's the Charlton left, and Gillespie 10 yards inside the Addicts half will take the throw. Pretty much on halfway by the time he releases towards Hadme again. Goes over him, Feeney heads it away. It'll be another Charlton throw, and certainly the start indicates that Shrewsbury are a little bit on the back foot, and Charlton need to take advantage of that as the throwing comes in, headed clear. Doherty the first to react, heads it back to Mitchell. Oh, it looked like a handball there, but it's Lloyd gets away with it. Mitchell's going to have to defend. Lloyd attacking the penalty area. That's a great tackle from Mitchell, and Ramsey can clear it away. Gets a deflection. Doherty will complete the clearance left. So it'll be interesting to see what would have come from that had Lloyd benefited from that. What looked like a handball off the Mitchell clearance, but Thierry Small now attacking down the left-hand side. Gets the ball across, but blocked away by Winchester.
Yeah, a little reverse turn to Berry, I think, in the support position there. But he had a head of steam. He was driving for the line to get across him, but we only had one in the box with Campbell at the edge of the box. I think the reverse turn, you've done a brilliant job to get us from defence up into an attacking position. Reverse turn back to Berry, territorial advantage, let players join.
Hall going forward as one Shrewsbury a throw-in in the Charlton half on the right-hand side. He takes the throw-in inside now to Winchester. Across to Sego Jr. Over to Benning on the left-hand side. Benning touches it into Ojo. Ojo up against Mitchell, cuts inside, and he's gone past him into the penalty area. Now Benning takes over. Good foot in from Doherty as Benning goes down fairly weakly and should be chastised for that, I think, for want of a better word. I think he went down far too easily, but maybe that's because I've got my Charlton head on.
No, you haven't. No. Oh, no, I'll tell you if you had. You know I would. You haven't. That was a poor attempt at trying to win a penalty from Benning. Disappointed in the way that he threw himself to the ground. There was no real challenge even made by Ramsey. He just hit his thigh and decided that was enough contact, but he hit Ramsey rather than Ramsey did anything to him.
Well, Shrewsbury got it back from the attempted Charlton ball forward, and Poole comes forward. That's a great tackle from Berry, but there might have been a pull from Gillespie just before that, which has given the free kick away.
Yeah, I'm not overly happy with the last two attempts to win the ball from two of the centre halves. Mitchell on the right, Gillespie on the left. Both dived in, planted their feet, weight going forward, no recovery whatsoever once you skip round. I don't like seeing that. Work your feet, stay light on the angle, make sure you can turn, and then if he beats you on one side or the other, you at least can make an attempt to recover and make a sliding tackle, not diving in with your weight forward. You're out the game.
It's going to be Hall to send this into the Charlton penalty area. In it comes, and it's the first to react. It's Feeney. Lloyd,
I did say about
Jones
delivery,
trying to keep up with him. And Feeney got there first, and that's a decent chance for Shrewsbury Town in the Charlton penalty area.
It's a massive chance, and he'll be disappointed he hasn't converted. But I did say about Benning, his set pieces in the highlights were extraordinarily good, and that was probably better than the ones I saw on the screen. It's an exceptional left foot he has.
Had me with the knock on. Berry can't get on the end of it. He felt he might have been upended, but Winchester got to the ball first, according to the officials, and it's guided back to Savin in the Shrewsbury penalty area, who clears it long. Jones and Lloyd. Yeah. Jones just levers Lloyd out of the way and allows it to go through to Mannion.
He can do that all day. He's got the beating of him physically and in terms of height, and he's isolated. So, George Lloyd, bless his heart, can't see him winning too many of those battles. The longer Shrewsbury have to go, I think the worse it is for them. But they've recovered well, I think. Judging
by that last passage of play, you get the feeling that set pieces could be quite crucial for the home siders.
And they can play. They've had moments in this game where they've played, they've pulled us about a bit, they've got into good areas. So that, it's just whether they can keep teams at bay with how they are defensively.
Well, we're 12 minutes in, and they have so far. It's still 0-0 here at the Crowd Stadium. Shrewsbury in possession on their right-hand side. The ball forward straight to Gillespie. Looks up, sends it long, asking Campbell to chase it. Feeney's having a turn, gets something on it, not convincingly, to the opposite Feeney. Sends it down the line. Gillespie first to react into Coventry. Back to Jones. The ball forward to Small. Oh, he tried to go back to Jones and it's picked off. And it's a switched ball, asking Benning to chase it on this left-hand side, and he'll get there as well. Gilead it was who sends the ball across. Ball into the box, a dangerous one. And it's Gillespie the first to get there. Doherty then heads it into the path of Coventry, just swinging away up towards Hadmi, who's having his shirt ripped off his back, but he does well to find Berry, who can't find Campbell. Shrewsbury clear it away, and it'll run away for a Charlton goal kick.
Yeah, as Hadmay's fighting for that, and Berry's supporting him. Love to see Campbell peel away, not get caught in that mix-up. If that's what I'm saying about reading play. You've got Berry coming up to support. You just need to have mate to win it. And if you're Campbell, you can start going away from that a little bit. In case if it goes back to Berry, you're the next ball on.
I think Berry's just making that point to Campbell. He's doing that gesturing motion with his hand about a curled run ahead of him as Mannion takes the goal kick away towards Hadmi once more. I'm not sure it's going to reach him. It isn't, and Hadmi in the back of Gilead could have given a free kick away. The referee's allowed that to go. Jones recovers well into Gillespie, who sends it forward again up towards Hadmi. Good chest control to Doherty. He's got to his right. Ramsey. Campbell had made a run ahead of him. May not have been aware of it. And Ramsey inside to Coventry.
It was on. He was level in between the left side of centre half and the left back, Campbell, and he was sprinting in between the pair of them. If the pass had been made, you weren't catching him, but it wasn't. We went sideways.
Coventry again, this time looking for Ramsey. Just a nudge in the back of Benning is enough to give the referee a reason to give the free kick.
Yeah, no need. I called him unnecessary free kicks. What's he going to do with that? He's under pressure. He's on the inside. It's flying at him at a pace. Let him deal with it. Now you've let him off the hook. No need to make contact there at all from Ramsey.
Free kick 10 yards outside the Shrewsbury penalty area. Back to the keeper, Savin. Kicks out Feeney, the number 6, to his left, who's going to go back to his keeper. Campbell had blocked his way forward, and then the ball out. I think he was looking for the other Feeney, and it almost went straight to a Hadme, but Shrewsbury survived that little scare, and it's Josh Feeney to bring it forward on the left-hand side. Back out to Benning. Benning under pressure, just scoops it forward. Jones across, can't get there though, and that's good defending from Mitchell to leave Rojo out of the way. Up towards Campbell, who wins the first ball, trying to get to the second ball, and Hadme does it for him into Berry. Berry, little turn into Campbell. Oh, he just couldn't get there, it was blocked, but the ball is deflected out to Thierry Small. Small, he's got Gillespie in support. Coventry inside if he needs him, as is Doherty, but it's Coventry the option. Up to Campbell, little touch back to Gillespie. Small, under pressure, gets caught in position a little bit, and the ball, which was aiming for Coventry, goes beyond the Charlton midfielder, so he has to scamper back to deal with it, and now he sends it forward. Campbell the target, but it might be too far ahead of him. He'll skip out of play before he can get there.
And we can't keep expecting to make those runs in behind, but I've just seen a little replay of that last attack on the turnover, and Berry tries to find Campbell. He's actually got 4 or 5 yards in front of him. The back line backed off into its own penalty area. He had 4 or 5 yards of space to actually go a little bit closer to goal, and at that point the shot becomes a potential attempt for him, but he's looking to go. So that's twice he's got into attacking areas and gone sideways.
Throw comes in. Coventry wins the first one and the second one. Hadme can't get there, and he just bundled into, I think it was Sago Jr. actually in the middle there. Just trying to pick out who went to ground. Might have been Gilead. No, it is Ojo, in fact, I beg his pardon.
Yeah. See, Ojo was full-back for them last week. They've put him into that. They play 4-2-3-1. He's gone from right-back into the 2 in front of the 4. And the guy who was in front of the back 4 last week has gone front right. So they're finding ways to try and find the best 11 here, Shrewsbury. You know, and they've got a full-back back in place. Well, he's wearing 2, so a recognised full-back, you have to say that is. But you can see from that last ball out from Savin, it was for Feeney, and it ended up with the right back. And you can see why, if they don't get it right, it's an automatic chance for the opposition.
It's a good header coming in from Lloyd from the free kick of Hull, but fortunately for Charlton, comfortably for Manning to come out of his 6-yard box to claim. Now Charlton will build on the left with Gillespie. Almost got his attempted ball across blocked, but the angle wasn't good enough, and Shrewsbury deal with it, but that's good work from Doherty to win it back for Charlton. Inside of him is Mitchell. Mitchell under pressure from Sago Jr. Back to Mannion, who clears it long up towards a Hadme. Again, Feeney close by, but that's a good header, and a lovely second header from Campbell into Berry. Just drags it back onto his left foot, and it's allowed Shrewsbury to get back. Now, it's a difficult one for Berry to deal with. He had 3 players around him. He almost got the better of all 3, but just not quite, and then concedes a free kick trying to regain possession.
You can see why he's turned away from that one. It's a really good run, actually, well timed in behind. You then feel he hasn't got the pace to get away. It's just whether he wanted to take the pot shot from that distance. He elected not to, turned away, crowded out. But I want to talk about that last diagonal from Gillespie, because that is on, but you need somebody up front to take. But right, we've blocked up that diagonal. You need players to come out of that space to get Ramsey down the side. You've got to try and pull the full-back in. You know, but we had too many players occupying the space where Gillespie wanted to hit it. But that diagonal, I quite like
the pressure that was coming his way may have affected the angle in which he eventually got it away, because he had to avoid the attention in that left-hand corner. But yeah, you're right.
Doherty went into that sort of spot that sort of clogged it up. Stay away from it. Get Campbell to try and drag the full-back inside.
That's good work on the left-hand side by Castledine. It's almost his first contribution to the game, Castledine, and he's got past Small, and Small's had to drag him back, and it'll be a free kick, and it's almost parallel to the corner of the Charlton penalty area near the touchline. maybe a bit further back than that. The referee's gone a lot further back, actually. It was a lot closer than that, unless that's where the original infringement took place, of course, which may well be the case.
Yeah, it was close to the sideline, but I didn't get the depth of it. But again, you know, this shouldn't really be that dangerous, but Benning has got, you know, we've seen it once from sort of similar distance. Got to be on your mettle here defensively.
Benning with the left foot on the touchline, about halfway inside the Charlton half, maybe a little bit further than that actually, on the Addicks left-hand side. Sent into the penalty area. Mannion comes out. It's a good claim from the Charlton keeper. Good, confident approach and grab. And,
when he comes, he looks, you know, I said this early on, and I think I even said it during pre-season. I like the fact that when he comes, he's committed and he is strong.
Well, you'll know better than most how much a difference that makes to the confidence of the back line.
Massive. And then when you've got confidence, you can start protecting. You don't have to worry about the header itself. You can kind of take your eye off the flight of the ball and start protecting your keeper by blocking out the players that are near him.
Charlton knock it from left to right, and then the long ball goes forward to Hadmi. Chest control. He can't get to the second one, but gets the throw in.
I think the bright start's just faded out, and we've now got to. I think we've got to start playing now a little bit. You know, I think that territory advantage in the early stages, going in behind, long throws down the line is great. But now, can we start picking a pass? Can we get our wing backs on the opposite side involved?
Gillespie with the throw, headed away by Hall. Back to Gillespie. He's got Jones in support. Little touch to Coventry. It's a little rushed actually under pressure. The ball to him wasn't the best. He's managed to get enough on it to guide it back to Mannion on the edge of his penalty area. Central position. Back out to Lloyd Jones on the left-hand side. Touch to Gillespie again. He's under pressure, so lifts the ball forward up to Small. Small controls, trying to turn away from trouble. He's got two men for company. The referee has given that to Shrewsbury, much to the dismay of Nathan Jones, who was literally 2 foot away from it. And Shrewsbury had the throw. Switched across from Poole across to Benning. Benning's got Sago Jr. out to his left. There's a little 1-2. Mitchell spots that, puts a foot in. Needed to as well. Doherty can bring the ball away, and then he's just nudged out of it by Ojo. Shrewsbury have possession back. Out to Benning on the left-hand side. Crosses it into the box, a deep one. Header coming in, it drops to the foot of Castledine. Gets it back and then strikes it wide, but it must have taken a deflection, and it's away for a corner.
Yeah. And you could argue Doherty thought he was fouled, but it's not given. The point is not given. We're on the back foot, and we've got players out of position. Benning with a wicked cross to the back post again. We keep saying it, but he's worth the admission price alone for the delivery with the left foot. I've got to be honest with you, and he's going to take this corner.
I wouldn't mind looking at the assists column.
Yeah, sure. It's going to be up there. It's going to be up there by the end of the
thereabouts, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Corner on the right-hand side for Shrewsbury. Goal in front of the Charlton travelling fans. Ball in, is headed away by Hadmi. Good header as well, deep. But Benning will retrieve it. Out to Ojo. Benning again. Oh, it's Castledine in space. Lifts the ball into the box. Headed away. Needed to be as well by Gillespie. Picked up in the centre by Winchester. Out here to Sago Jr. He's going to run at Doherty. Goes past him initially, but it's good covering by Ramsey, but he gets a second attempt, but the ball in. Sort of rushed clearance from Mitchell. I think he didn't realise how much time he had, but he wasn't taking any chances, just got rid. It'll be a Shrewsbury throw halfway inside the Charlton half on the left-hand side. Yeah, 23 minutes gone, still goalless here.
Yeah, I agree. I think there could have been a little bit more composure. That's knowing your surroundings, where the Shrewsbury players are. Mitchell had a little bit more time than he thought.
Winchester receives the throw. Ball in field. Could be almost cut off by Campbell. Just didn't quite make it. And Shrewsbury have it back with Feeney in the middle. Out to the right-hand side and Hall. All down the line. Little touch inside by Gilead. Back to Hall. Who's running in towards the right-hand corner. Shadowed by Small, who gets a foot in. Concedes a throw.
I think we can comfortably say now, 23.5 minutes in, that Shrewsbury have taken control of the game. They're on the front foot. There's a couple of 1-2s that have left players stuck in the mud and been played around. We've got to be a lot better than that at shuffling our feet and getting off the mark to recover into a position that stops that. But they're asking more questions of us than we're asking of them. It was a bright start, but that's faded. It seems a long time ago now, and at the moment we're very much staying in the game.
Throw to Shrewsbury, which conceded by Coventry on this occasion. Shrewsbury have it in the right-hand corner. It's Gilead who sends it in, headed away by Jones, will be picked up by Benning. Headers it into the left-hand channel. Ojo into that channel and into the corner. Back to Benning, good cross in, header comes in. And Castledean with Philly should have done better with that. He rose above Gillespie, got his head to it. His header though went comfortably over the bar. It's another chance for the home side.
Yeah, and Gillespie's a lucky boy, because that is classic centre-half switching off, thinking there isn't anybody coming in behind you. You should never allow somebody on your inside to catch you out like that. You get to the flight of the ball, you meet it. He's now being caught in possession. He's going to get a rocket. I'm pretty sure he's going to get a rocket off his manager. His body language after losing that last header wasn't good enough, and that bit of play there wasn't good enough.
Tried to play it out from possession and got caught in possession and had to concede the corner on the Charlton left, the Shrewsbury right. And
I'll go back to
current issues for Gillespie that he's got to get out of his system. It's going to be a corner to Shrewsbury once more, and again, of course, it's
the consistency of the delivery. There hasn't been one
corner comes in, sent deep, and that might be too deep for everybody. It is. It's Brownie talking at him. Talk that one in.
Yeah, but he has been so consistent. 6 or 7 deliveries, absolutely on the money, asking questions of the Charlton defence and begging his team to attack it. And that last one was attacked really, really well. But as a centre half, he hits your elbow. He's chewing on your elbow bone. He's certainly not getting a free header. And if it's not your elbow bone, you are jumping to meet it. So he's got to jump over you. There's no way anyone gets a free header from a delivery like that when you've got 3 giant centre halves defending your penalty area.
Goal kick comes away. Had me pursuing it, but cleared away by Feeney, and then Jones sends it back forward. This time Campbell looking for it, and it might have been dragged down, and the referee agrees. And it's a free kick to Charlton, halfway inside the Shrewsbury half, just left of centre.
Yeah, and a welcome bit of respite, because they have been on top, Shrewsbury, for the last 10 minutes, and they've been banging on the drum. But we've been, again, relatively resilient. I didn't like that last passage of play, where the free header in the box was met and just drifted over the bar. But this is a welcome relief for our defence. Bit of quality we need now in terms of, they've really asked questions of us with quality into the box. Can Connor Coventry deliver this into the right spot, give one of our boys a chance to attack? We've got a decent amount of height along that Shrewsbury back line. Coventry with it, swings it in. Jones almost there, but headed away by Feeney. It's dropped to Benning, who taps it into the channel, asking Sago Jr. to follow it in there. Gave a little kick out to Ramsey there after Ramsey got there first. Little shoulder charge to lever him out of the way. Charlton have possession though. It's Gillespie on slightly left of centre. Looks to lift it forward. Hadmi will run for this. Headed away though by Feeney. And Benning can complete the clearance. Again, Sago showing himself, Sago Jr. onto the left-hand side. Back by Mitchell, back to Benning. Again, sends it down the channel. And then Coventry dumps Castledean to the floor and concedes a free kick. Yeah. I thought we missed an opportunity there to pen him in a little bit. I think we've let him out. We've not recognised that we could have been on the front foot a bit sharper, could have got a bit tighter, a bit quicker after that delivery, and it was well headed out actually by Feeney. Centre half did well there, rose above everybody, nodded it down, but I thought our reactions were slow to penning them in.
Shrewsbury have worked it across to the right-hand side. It's Gilead forced backwards to Feeney, who sends it into the right-hand channel, asking Lloyd to pursue it out there. Needs Jones to come across to get a foot there first. The Charlton concede the throw. And the Addicts certainly a little bit on the back foot at the minute.
Yeah, after a very positive start. But what I will say about this Charlton side, it has periods in games you don't feel like they're as vulnerable as they were in previous seasons. They do have the ability, when they're under pressure, to sort of see it out. But I'd rather not than be under pressure for these long periods. It's turned into sort of 10-15 minutes now, and we're barely holding territory in their half. You know, we get into their half, it comes back pretty quick, and they're controlling the tempo of the game because they're keeping the ball better than we are.
From the throw, Hull trying to knock it into the box, got that hopelessly wrong. It'll be a Charlton goal kick. the Addicts with a little bit of respite. And what has been a little bit tricky last quarter of an hour. Ball forward headed away by Shrewsbury back line up towards Lloyd, who's under pressure but gets the ball out to the Shrewsbury left-hand side, and Sago Jr. into the penalty area. Takes a cross, takes a deflection, and he gets a second bite of the cherry. Gets it in. Jones has to concede the corner.
Yeah. Surviving. At least we showed him outside, but we should have done better on the rebound, I think. I don't know how he got that shot away from the rebound, but how do you change the pattern of the game? That'd be the question.
It's going to be Benning with a corner this time from the Shrewsbury left-hand side. Drills it across, and Campbell got away with it and manages to get the deflection into Coventry. I'm not sure how he managed that, but he does. Now Coventry tries to set Campbell on his way, but he's given that too much. And it's allowed Winchester to come across and tip it out of place. So Charlton rather fortuitously getting it out and almost capitalised from it.
But again, no composure. Just complete and utter luck how that fell to Coventry. Just hit him from a clearance from Campbell, because we're panicking a little bit. Because we know we can feel that we're losing the foothold in this game. Again, you look at Gillespie, he's your out ball, but how do you get it there? Are we brave enough to go bang, bang, turn out away from pressure and get it out to Gillespie? If they shut that off, then it goes back to Jones. But you've got to be a bit braver here.
It's currently back with Mitchell, sends it forward, asking Berry to chase it. Feeney with a header away though, and then Benning completes it, but Coventry does well to pick it up for Charlton. Doherty guides it back to Gillespie, to Mitchell rather. Gillespie out on the left-hand side via Lloyd Jones. Lifts it forward, asking Campbell to pursue it. Across there is Feeney, who gets something on it and clears it away, but straight out of play. It should be a Charlton throw, and is. And Shrewsbury just putting pressure on Charlton on the ball, which is causing us the sort of problems we want to cause them currently. We have this throw on the left-hand side with Gillespie, looking for options, and then changes his mind, and again now sends it towards Admi. Little chest control, but Shrewsbury deal with that, and Winchester guides it back to Hall, who'll clear it away. Jones trying to get there before Lloyd. Too much pressure on the Shrewsbury number 9. It's Mitchell, I beg his pardon. He wants to take a quick free kick, and Mitchell might be in trouble here. And he is. Gets a yellow card from the referee.
Yeah, you know, I could be critical that two centre-halves marking Lloyd. They were slow to react, but I'm going to give Lloyd a bit of credit. He anticipated that ball up. He was on the move short of Gillespie. It went inside towards Jones, and he got across to Jones and got in front of that as well. So really good work from George Lloyd. We were a little bit flat-footed as two centre-halves. You'd like to see one of them on the front foot. I was very complimentary in the first 3 games about how good they were attacking that first ball up. I thought George Lloyd did exceptionally well there for Shrewsbury as a centre forward to get in front of the two centre halves and win a free kick.
Feeney with the free kick, headed away by Ramsey. Doherty pursuing it, and he gets something on it, and that might have come off Feeney last, but the assistant down here thought otherwise. It's a throw into Shrewsbury.
Yeah,
just inside their own half.
I'm just thinking how we can change the pattern of the game, and if you look at their front three want to take care of our 3 centre halves, which means there should be a massive gap between our wing backs and their full backs. So our wing backs, when there's a turnover, should be able to receive, because you're asking their full backs to then engage 30 or 40 yards, or you're asking their front three that are taking our centre halves to drop in. So I think the wing backs are quite.
Good turn from Castledean from the throw. He sends it, rather extravagant attempt at getting it into the top left-hand corner. Far too much on that. It sails into the back of the stand where the Charlton fans are situated. And again, though, just Charlton switch off just that moment. It's that turn. That was a good turn for Castledean.
It's an extraordinary good turn. And you know, when I was talking earlier about people being brave and turning away from pressure and being able to switch play, that's the sort of thing we're talking about. A 1v1 situation with a bit of inventiveness. And that was Castledean sending his, who's marking Coventry. I mean, he's caught the bus there, and let's be honest, he's had to catch it back in.
Had me with the flick from the goal kick, but Charlton again can't keep possession. Ramsey having to slide in to try and win it back off of Sago Jr. He's going to get a yellow card for that, which a tad harsh. It's a sliding challenge. It looks studs up, but maybe it was. Difficult to tell from this distance, but referee decides it's a yellow card.
We've got a poor angle on the replay. It's the other side of us. It'll be hard to judge, but if he's made no contact on the ball.
Quickly taken free kick, and Benning touches it into Castledine. It's momentarily stopped by Ramsey, but it's with Sago Jr. Back out to Benning. Inside again to Castledine, who's figuring more in this game in the last quarter of an hour. Benning with a 1-2 is Sago Jr. and he's in the penalty area and he's dropped to the floor. Again, the referee waves away the protest. I think there might have been more in that than the previous one. He got the better and the right side, the wrong side, as Charlton will look at it.
I've lost count the amount of times we've been done on a 1-2, on a give and go. And the only decision the referee's got to make here is, was he stumbling first? Was he losing his footing before Connor Coventry leaned into him? And then the decision is, do I think the contact made any difference?
Well,
and the answer in his eyes is no. He thought the stumble, and here it comes. There's a little stumble there, look, and then the arm goes on the back. And I think the referee thinks he was going down regardless whether the arm was coming on the back or not. That may be through Charlton rose-tinted glasses, but that's how I see it.
Good work from Doherty in midfield, who skipped past his man and he releases Small on the left-hand side, who's got Gilead pursuing him. Still Thierry Small on that left, looking for options. Trying to take him on the outside now and does so. Gets a good cross in as well and headed clear by Feeney before Hadmi can get there. And Charlton may get a corner from this, and they do.
Yeah, and again, wing back, forward, half a yard delivery.
Is it one of those with the penalty where if you got, as you say, if you got Charlton eyes on, you're thinking, well, that would have been a bit soft and there's not enough in that. But if you're a Shrewsbury fan, you're thinking, well, he's got his arm on his shoulder and he's gone down.
More than entitled to make a claim for that and a shout. I'd be disappointed if the home fans didn't shout for that, getting behind their side. I would see it the same if it was against. Sorry, you know, if it was one of our players doing that, I'd say he's just lost his foot in there, and you can see why the ref. It's the stumble that does him. If there's no stumble, there's a very good chance that's getting given.
35 and a half, nearly 36 minutes in. Charlton have the corner. Coventry with it, send it into the box, headed clear by Carson, only as far as Doherty, who takes a shot. That taking the deflection, and it's another Charlton corner. That could well have been on target because the result wasn't that far over the bar. It was Doherty with the snapshot and took the deflection, which took it over the bar.
I've never seen a whole team inside the 6-yard box before. You normally protect the edge of the box. I'd be slightly encouraged by that if I was Charlton. Anything headed out, you've got two on the edge of the box that could come onto this.
Charlton back-to-back corners, and after being under sustained pressure for the last 20 minutes or so, can the Addicts spring a surprise here and inflict the blow to Shrewsbury? The corner goes too long for Jones, and it's allowed Shrewsbury to clear it away with Sago Jr. It's a foot in from Mitchell, deflects it into Coventry. His ball forward though goes straight to Benning, who's looking for Campbell. Benning under pressure from Doherty. It's good pressure as well from Doherty, but Shrewsbury still have possession. Up to Castledine. This time Coventry snaps in and wins the ball back, trying to send Campbell on his way. Feeney just about gets there first and guides it back to his keeper, who sends the ball away. Coventry first to react with a header into the midfield. Berry can't get there though, as Gilead picks it up for Shrewsbury, with Gillespie all over him, illegally potentially, and that's what the referee thinks. And there's a quickly taken free kick into Gilead, into Castledine. Castledine's got Benning and Sago Jr. out to his left. It's Sago Jr. back inside to Ojo. Benning still on the left-hand side. Back to Ojo. Ojo thinks about sending it into the box, does so. Jones the first to react well for Charlton. Ball out, looking for Campbell. That might be asking too much of him, and he is. He'll go out for a Shrewsbury throw.
One of the things, I've punched the stats up and I don't agree with them, so I'm not going to give them out. But yeah, I don't. They've had shots on target for sure, and it's saying they haven't had any. I know Mannion's made at least one gather from a shot on target. But the point being, they've had opportunities that warranted us go with the header over the top of Gillespie. But just moments like that pass out where the ball's out of play and Campbell can't get there, we've not kept possession well enough. That's the simple truth of this first 45 minutes. We started very lively on the front foot for 10 minutes, hustle and bustle, high tempo like we asked for. But they've kept the ball better than us. They've made a lot more passes than us. They've had a lot more creativity in the final third than us.
Well, they have it on the throw on the right-hand side, but they've conceded possession back to Charlton fairly comfortably and easily.
But we've said this before, it's still 0-0. And we've had games like this season where we've gone on to get the result, and we've overpowered our opponents physically. Second halves, we've physically seen people drop off. We are 5 or 6 games in now, so I think teams will have caught up physically. I thought it was a very good start from us in terms of where we got the team initially in the first 3 or 4 games. But it'd be interesting to see how the second half goes.
And Gillespie's throw is cleared forward by Feeney.
How was that?
Mitchell was tussling with Lloyd, and the resultant header goes out for a Shrewsbury corner on that far side. Listen, Shrewsbury right.
Positionally as a centre half, you're twisted in the air, you're facing your own goal line. You've got your feet all tangled up. You haven't dropped early enough to get on top. You've got to be coming forward through the back of that. Not, and if you're dropping, your body shouldn't be twisted.
Corner comes in. Coventry with a header away, going to be picked up by Ojo. Back out to Benning on the right-hand side. Trying to keep it off his left foot, Coventry, but he goes back to Ojo. Does send it into the box. Headed away by Hadmay. And then it's a free kick. Conceded by Berry on Sago Jr. The referee again, no hesitation in giving that free kick, and it's just outside the D to the left of centre as Shrewsbury attack.
Again, if you don't get anything on the ball and you make contact with the opponent, you are giving the referee an easy decision to make. Even though Berry tried to sort of block the ball itself, didn't get anything on it. Ojo takes the contact and down he goes. But this is, for me, this is prime distance for Benning, the left back. Well, I mean, there's 2 over it.
He's over the ball with Castledine. It sort of lends itself to a left foot shot. The wall is being shaped in that side.
I wouldn't really care where this was on that around that D. The way the left back strikes the ball with the accuracy he's got, he'd be your number 1 choice. But maybe to deceive Mannion, it is Castledine who comes over and surprises everybody.
Mannion's looking into the sunshine here.
At least it's a big wall. You're asking a lot to get up and over that wall and down the other side. It's 6 footers right across it until you get to Berry. Incredibly, on the right-hand side. Might have that side heavily covered, I think.
Well, Castledine's now taking some steps back. Whether that's just for show, we'll find out as referees ask them to take it. Castledine steps forward, does take it straight into the wall, and it might have been Lloyd Jones's header who clears it away. Knocked back in by Benning, up in the air. Ramsey heads it away up to Hadmay. Good collection from Hadmay, back to Ramsey. Sends it through the middle, asking Campbell to chase it, and he might get the better of Feeney here, and just about recovers, having taken a heavy touch. Campbell kept him honest, kept him under pressure, but Feeney gets the ball away. Charlton have a throw on the left-hand side, about 15 yards away from the corner flag.
Yeah, Wall did a great job there. It was Jones. And it's lucky we did have a 6'3", 4-inch wall right across that left-hand side. It was a decent strike by Castledine. Wall did its job, and from that break, Campbell's pressure has led Feeney to push it out for a
Gillespie thought about sending it long, instead gives it to Small. Small just drags it back and will knock this in with his right-footed, but he knocks it actually away, and it's going to drop to Coventry, though. Thought about a shot and he just skipped off the surface. He felt he was pushed off it a little bit, and he's claiming that to the referee just as he was about to pull the trigger. I don't think that's true.
No, he's claiming the referee was in the way.
Oh, I see. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
But nevertheless, I can see why he's taking the shot there. If you get caught in possession, they break on you. So it's a really difficult shot to technically get on top of, and it's got underneath it with a little bit of spin, and it was harmless. But I can understand why he took it. The fear is if I take a touch here and they steal it, we've got a counter against, and I'm not prepared to do that.
Goal kick away. Lloyd gets the flick on, but Gillespie heads it away. Hadmay coming back, heads it up in the air. Doherty can't get there. Coventry does, trying to find Ramsey, who gets to the ball well. Doherty takes over, tries to punch it through the middle to Hadmay, but it's going to run kindly for Campbell. He's got Doherty inside. Campbell goes on a run on the outside. Still Campbell, now finds Doherty. Turns away from trouble, Doherty. He's got Small on to his left corner of the penalty area. Thierry Small into the box. Tries to go past his man, gets the ball back across, headed clear. Berry will be the first to react for Charlton. Back to Gillespie. And he's sent Small into the corner. He can't go for it because he'd have been offside. And the move fizzles out as the ball runs away for a goal kick.
Yeah, and Gillespie questions why he's not gone for it.
He might not have been as well, actually. There was Feeney was in the middle. Whether or not, depends how deep the run was from Small coming back from that earlier offensive position. But there's a promising move there from Charlton, but come to nothing. We remain goalless here as we approach the last 90 seconds of this first half. Savin with the goal kick. Sun is out here in Shropshire.
Very much in the eyes of Mannion, isn't it? He's going to get a freebie second half. He's going to be in the shadows.
Goal kick away. Jones gets something on it. So Berry flicks it forward to Campbell. Gives it back to Coventry, who's taken out. And Charlton players just asking a question. And why isn't that worthy of a card that two of the Charlton challenges were? The referee ignores those protests, and we restart with the free kick. Lloyd Jones for Charlton, just inside the Alex half. To his left is Gillespie. Lifts it forward, asking again Campbell to chase it. Feeney the first to react, and he clears it away beyond the stadium and into the car park.
Yeah,
we see a dent on the roof on the way out. We know why.
I think if you looked at the game against Wrexham last week and the physicality and power across their front line, and then they back it up with the midfield and they condense the units, and you can see why Shrewsbury might have struggled against that. Suffocated them. I think I spoke to the Reading guys, and they did the same to Reading. They just suffocate. We're not suffocating. We're allowing units to be a little bit wider than they need, a little bit more distance between the units, allowing Shrewsbury to play.
Well, Shrewsbury deal with the throw into Charlton midfield. Send it forward by Feeney, but comfortably through to Mannion. And in the dying, well, we're in added time now of half-time. As Mannion sends it away. Hadme gets something on it, but it ricochets through to Sego Jr. That's a good block stopped by Coventry. Doherty battling away, as is Coventry. And Lloyd accused of obstruction by keeping the ball in between his legs. Charlton have a free kick, quickly taken away to Small. Back to Gillespie under pressure. Inside, I didn't see how many added minutes there were, to be fair. As Mannion sends it clear.
Can't be many. There hasn't been many disruptions.
Run out of play for a Shrewsbury throw on halfway.
Don't we seen a physio on, have we?
Nope. And in fact, there's your answer. It is half-time here at the Crowd Meadow Stadium, and it's goalless here. Charlton had the opening 10 minutes, but since then it's been largely Shrewsbury have put Charlton under pressure, and the Addicts have had to defend well to cope with that pressure. And at half-time, Steve, what sort of discussion will Nathan Jones be having in that dressing room?
How we can stay a bit more composed in possession, and how we can be better in build-up play, because I think we've ended up going back to front far too quickly. The distance between back to front has been 70 yards. That's extremely difficult for your midfield to condense anything. They're not taking any risks on the ball up. We're trying to get in behind their back line, and when we do, they put it out of play, we get the throw-ins. We've not been good enough or brave enough in build-up play, and there's a decision to make for Nathan, because we've got a centre-half playing long, midfielders are struggling. If they go for the ball up, there's a long distance then back to that back line, and we haven't kept the ball well enough. But it was a bright start, and we've kept a clean sheet. We came with a point, and it's still a point this moment, but we've got to play much better than that to come away with all three.
So you said what can we do? You posed the question. I'm going to ask you the question, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you posed the question about what can we do to affect the nature of the game, because we have been put under pressure. We sort of lost our way after the opening 10 minutes, quarter of an hour. How do we change that? How do we wrestle control back?
Well, you might. I mean, the one thing I do like is he's shown an intent by putting three strikers on the bench. And the one thing I would say up to this point this season, we aren't having enough opportunities at the opposition's goal, and so to change it, to answer your question, might have to come off the bench today. All right, but build up down one side and turn away and hit a wing back on the other side. But it's a difficult one, because I thought we were in this position not last week but the week before against Reading. It was 0-0 and it was twist or stick. Do you go and try and get 3 points at Reading, or do you go, we're not going to concede today? And at Reading, I thought we should have gone for not conceding, but today I think these are the games you've got to win. So there's kind of a little bit of pressure on Nathan here to try and turn this around and make us a more attacking side in the second half. It might be that he does that off the bench.
Well, they're the thoughts of Charlton legend Stevie Brown, and well, there was news in the week that surfaced that. Well, I'll let the man himself explain it. Steve Avery had a big decision to announce in the week, and Charlton TV caught up with Steve Avery, and this is what he had to say and the details of that big decision.
Steve, after almost 25 years at the football club, you have a big announcement to make. Can you talk us through your news?
Yes, I've decided that after 25 years nearly, that I've come to a point where I feel I need to step down from the role as Academy Director. It's been an enormously difficult decision to make, the most difficult decision of my working life. But I do think that the time is right. It's a decision that I spoke to Jim Rodwell and Andy Scott about a couple of months ago, and there's been further discussions since, and I emphasise the word step down because what I did say to them, ideally I would like to still continue in some role, even though it would be a part-time advisory role if they were in agreement, and I'm grateful for the fact that they agreed to that, and that we've drawn up a job description whereby instead of me officially retiring, let's call it semi-retiring, I'm more comfortable with that in terms of a gradual, a gradual movement towards, the ending of my career.
So that was the announcement from Steve Avery that he is going to stand down from his role as Academy Director. He's still going to be in the club and be around the club and advise in the transition period. But Steve, getting rightfully obviously the plaudits for the length of time Stephen's been here and the amount of quality gone through that process. I think Nathan Jones quite rightly said in a week there are lots of people in that process underneath and around Steve Avery that will continue the good work they do. But of course, somebody who's overseen it, getting somebody else in to do that same job, it'll be potentially a difficult transition.
Yeah, but we may have the man for it already in there. I know Rhys Williams rather well. Rhys has been by the side of Steve Avery for the best part of the last 15 years. It's whether Rhys wants to the workload that comes with being an academy manager, but he's a lovely gentleman, very good at his job. If there's one thing that you do find in football is that people are a lot more comfortable appointing from within, because you trust. And Rhys, I know well. Whether he wants to take on that role or not, it's a different matter. But there is somebody in that academy that I think fits the bill. It's whether he wants it and whether we are prepared to offer that to Rhys, or we think there's somebody outside of that we can get in that's that we've got our eyes on, if you like. But in terms of Steve Avery, longevity is extremely difficult to come by in football, whatever your role, even if it's surviving, people like myself who take on roles, the managers, their assistants, their coaches, then you become summarisers. Surviving in football is tough enough, let alone having a top job in a top academy and then producing pretty much year after year at least one or two that are getting in and around the first team. So a top job from Steve Avery. I think everybody at the football club wishes him well in whatever his next venture is. If it's just calling it a day and relaxing at home, he deserves that. If it's coming in and setting up the next guy and putting him in place, he deserves that. It's Steve's call, really. Longevity and staying in a position like that and producing is extremely rare. Fair play.
Yeah, and I think that we echo that sentiment from Steve Brown. And Steve, it's I think what it is that when, especially a club like Charlton, when somebody's been at the club for as long as Steve Avery's done and is widely recognised within the Charlton community, it's like change is almost inevitable at football. Well, in most spheres of life, to be fair, but certainly in football. But it's when somebody's been at the club that long, you just get that horrible, not horrible feeling, that's probably not the right word, but you get that feeling in your stomach, you think, that's not good. You know, it's change, and a lot of people don't like change, especially when something's been around for so long.
Yeah, I get that, but then I'll go back to my time as an academy player at Charlton. We had an extremely good youth team coach in Colin Clark, and I think it goes under the radar how many quality players Colin Clark got through in a very difficult period for the club when it had zero money, zero scouting out there. The academy cost peanuts to run at that time. It wasn't even an academy, called a youth system, and you know, we probably feared when Clarkey left, is it going to be the same? Well, it actually got a little bit better. We then got Konchesky's, Parker's through, you know, which is, you know, when you're producing players in the Premier League and they're getting into your first team, they're £10 million worth. And so we got better again. So who's to say that the job that Steve done was fantastic, but someone comes in and just elevates it slightly and we get more players through to the first team? You just don't know. We could have a period of where it's barren and we don't get any through for 2 or 3 years. But the point being, you know, it's just a brilliant job. Let's tick the job that Steve's done and then see where that goes, because they're big shoes to fill and it's not an easy.
Seen some youth development himself, Nathan Jones. You get the feeling under his tenureship that maybe we'd be in a slightly better position now than we would have been maybe otherwise, potentially, because I think it's already shown that he's quite happy to bring young players through if they're good enough, they're old enough, that type of scenario.
Yeah, I have an issue with, you know, I have a slight issue in terms of we seem to be getting a lot of players, and we were rattling names off on the way up, sadly, of players that have burst into the side in recent years, 5-10 games in, and they're already playing non-league football. And that is what I would say is you've got to keep an eye on. Like first team players, I was under a very good academy manager at Brighton in Martin Inchwood, and the list on his wall, he had 26 players into the first team in 10 years, but 3 of them have played over 200 league games. 2 had been sold for over £1 million, and they were all sourced out of Sussex. We didn't have the money to go anywhere else. And you have to look a little bit beyond. And I think I think we're getting too many players into the first team that aren't staying in the first team, and that needs to be looked at a little bit.
Is that the nature of the football system and the football situation, not just Charlton, everywhere, where
potentially,
you know,
so then it needs a broader look.
Yeah,
you know, but as a club, I'm not bothered what happens at Tottenham or Arsenal. I'm bothered what happens at Charlton. And is there a way that we can get these players? Because sometimes I do look at some of the youngsters that come in and they hit the ground running, because it's all adrenaline based. It's all like, I can't believe this, and it's adrenaline for a month, and then it's after the first setback, the first mistake, the first thing you do wrong, and the crowd groans. Now your character's challenged. What are you going to come back with? And if you don't come back and you make another mistake the next game and another one, we tend not to see players again. And there's something in that.
Yeah.
You know, and if that's across the board at all other clubs, I'm not specifically saying it's a Charlton thing. I'm just saying that's something that you could look at and try to improve. Getting players in, sustainability in the first team.
But is it looking at, and what we're seeing now, or certainly in the recent past, is all clubs want instant success, potentially, and so
managers ain't got time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so, you know, like we're blooding young players in, but the manager comes in, knows that they're probably too young to sustain a proper League One campaign.
But they weren't. This is the point I'm making. They weren't. When you were in at 17, 20 years ago, you were in.
Oh yeah, no. But the nature of football's changed, I think, in that respect.
Okay, so why aren't they ready?
Well, that's a whole different argument, I suspect.
Right,
I'm not sure we got long enough.
No, that's the point I'm making. So, and I'm not saying they're not ready. Miles is ready. Miles was ready, and Miles Leeburn, you know, will go on. Burst into the team. We've seen Barker burst into the team. There's a long list now of players that have burst in, and you think they're not bad, and within 2 years they're playing non-league football.
But I get the feeling some of those players who I still think, you know, were quality and are quality players were coming into the side out of necessity rather than design sometimes. And so,
well, that's how I got in. So it's your job to stay in.
Exactly that.
So you've got to be ready. That's the point. You know, I got an opportunity because Alan Pardew came off injured after 10 minutes, and Darren Pitcher went to centre midfield, and they threw me on at right back. that was that. That literally was how it started. You know, and you've got to be ready.
Yep.
And you've got to be up for it, and you've got to take all the setbacks along with the plaudits.
Well, it's a fascinating discussion,
Yeah,
and I hope it's
listen,
one that we can have at length later on.
We can all have it in length, and we can all disagree.
Oh, yeah,
because
absolutely.
there is such a broad spectrum of answers to, you know, and there isn't one size fits all. It's a very difficult topic actually to discuss.
Well, I can tell you that the Shrewsbury players are back out on the field. No sign of the Charlton players as yet. Charlton will be attacking the end where the Charlton fans have travelled sort of north-west towards Shrewsbury. I don't have the figure of how many have travelled up, but I'm looking across. It looks around the sort of 700 to 1,000 mark, but it's difficult to tell from this angle. If I'm honest, what have you lost?
No, I've lost my pen, but the point being that they've come up in great numbers is a long way. And again, you can kind of sense where the game went. The drummer was drumming for 25 minutes consistently. Oh, there it is. Consistently. And then the drumming stopped. The drummer needs to get going again.
Well, Charlton players are huddling in the tunnel. Well, not huddling is probably not the right word, but they're sort of assembled in the tunnel area.
I think this is a big 45 minutes, that's why. And it needs a bit of togetherness, and it needs us not to concede a goal. Like, I don't want it to be a 0-0 game, but let's not concede a goal.
The Annex are back out on the pitch. Doesn't look like that changes for either side. As we look to start this second half. Annex now defending away to our right-hand side. And it'll be the Annex who will get us underway in this second half. Referee just doing a number count before restarting proceedings. And it looks like we are now ready to go. Campbell over the ball. We've got Small and Berry also in the centre circle. So there's a delay there. The fourth official is delaying proceedings a touch. I'm not entirely sure why, but
Charlton start for very late out as well.
Maybe words have been said. Only time will tell whether those words will have a positive effect as Charlton do get us underway. And we start with the ball looking for a Hadmi. Barrels into the back of Gilead in his attempt to get to the ball. He's given away an early free kick in the second half. Gilead stays down. Just about 5 or 6 yards outside the Shrewsbury penalty area. Left of centre. Referee just going across to Gilead to see that if he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously, you know, he's had to take his time, so it was a bit of a challenge.
No physio needed. Gilead's up on his feet. And we'll restart with a Savin free kick. Sends it down the Charlton right-hand side. Mitchell can't get there, headed into the penalty area. Lloyd looking for it. Gillespie away, but picked up by Sago Jr. Fortunately, Ramsey takes over, sends it down that right-hand corner. Feeney across, heads it away from Campbell.
But that's
a Charlton throw.
Sorry, Taylor, that's a prime example. You've gone along to Campbell, you know, they've headed it out of play, which is fine. If they head that back in play, you've got a back four and a midfield three. Or, sorry, a back five and a midfield three, and there's a 70-yard gap to that header. It's very difficult to get up behind that.
Good flick on from Ahadmi, and then Campbell touches it into Doherty. Back to Ahadmi. Back out to Campbell on the right-hand side. It's going to attack Benning. Ball across the box. Oh, before it can get to Berry, it's cleared away by Feeney. And now Ojo being pressed in by Doherty. Campbell takes over and dropped to the floor, but nothing given. Much to the dismay of Charlton fans behind the goal. Clearance goes straight to Connor Coventry. Mitchell in support behind. Looks to switch this across. Just slips as he makes contact, but Ahadmi will flick it on. Small. Left corner of the penalty area. Turns. In support is Gillespie. Campbell in the channel in the left-hand corner. Up against Ojo. Goes past Ojo onto the byline. Tries to get it across. Feeney with a clearance. It cannons off of Ojo. Fortunately for Shrewsbury, nothing came from it. And then Castledine goes down theatrically. Nothing given. Ramsey for Charlton. under pressure, steps inside, going to switch it across, looking for Small. That's a good ball. Terry Small in that left-hand corner. He's having to chase it across there, and in the end, Poole comes across and concedes. I think that's a corner or a throw-in. I can't tell. I think the referee's given. Tell what the referee's given.
No, I think it's a throw-in. Normally it would be pointing at the corner spot. I think it was a corner that was directional.
I'm not so sure, you know, because
it does look like they're lining up for a corner.
Small's come inside and Coventry's making his way across, so I think he's given a corner.
These glasses I've got on, hey, they'd be a right favour, wouldn't they? It is a corner, you're right. But look, initial tactical moves, both wing backs very, very advanced. One wing back playing a diagonal to another. Campbell off the shoulder of wide defenders, breaking down the side and delivering. It was an excellent clearance from Feeney earlier. Good start.
Charlton have a bus stop queue by the penalty area as Coventry takes it. Deep one. Jones at the far side of the 6-yard box, takes it back across. Oh, it's underneath the crossbar and it's gone in. Who got the last touch on that? Was it a Hadmi? He's wheeled away. Lloyd Jones with a ball across, and that may have. Oh God, that's a difficult one to call.
Just give it him. Yeah, just give it him.
The Hadmi's there. Whether the ball had already gone across is a tough one to call. But Charlton have the lead in the opening 3.5 minutes of the second half.
What I would say is that is a routine. So fair play. We've said about set pieces, they need to improve. We need to score from some, and we need to be better defending. We've certainly got better defending them, and we've looked a little bit lively. I talked about the movement in the first 10 minutes of this game. It was excellent. This one is designed to get Jones free at the far post. The delivery, in truth, has got a little bit too much air underneath it, but it gets to Jones. That's the important bit. He heads it back across, and Hadmay's pressurising the far post. It's off his shoulder. I'm giving it to him, and I need everyone else to give it to him. He's
I'm giving it to him, and I think you're right. It's come off shoulder stroke upper arm. There was a defender there, and it may have got contact off him, but I think he was over the line when it did. So Hadmi gets his first goal for the club, and Charlton have the lead here as Shrewsbury try to counter down the left-hand side. Sego Jr. taking on Mitchell, gets a lovely sliding tackle in, and he felt it might have come off. Sego Jr. lost, but the referee disagrees.
That got a ricochet for a Charlton throw, but it's a long way, and I just said a corner was a throw-in, so...
Throw goes backwards to Winchester, infield to Bojo, switches it across to Poole, little touch right, Gilead up against Gillespie, turns Gillespie with a foot in, but he doesn't get there. Gilead still in possession. Lloyd Jones comes across, gets a block from the attempted cross. It'll be a corner to the home side.
Yeah, I mean, he just has a real problem with transfer of weight, Gillespie, doesn't he? When he gets on the wrong side, it takes him a long time to transfer that weight from one side to another, and he's got ghosted past on the inside. You much prefer seeing centre halves get ghosted past on the outside. But yeah, a little bit of work to do for Gillespie. That wasn't quite where you need to be.
Corner from Benning on the Shrewsbury right. Swung in, headed away by Hadmi. Winchester will do the dropping ball and smacks it straight into the back of Sego Jr.'s head. But Lloyd, the first to react for Shrewsbury, gets to the ball, swings it into the penalty area. Header coming in from Gilead, but he can't get on target, comfortably wide of the Charlton posts.
Yeah, I think there was a little push in there as well. So if that did find the back of the net, I wonder if the referee would have just given a free kick. But I want to just point out, Hadmi, yes, he scored the goal. I'd like to know how many headers he's won defensively from set pieces today, because I think that's 3 or 4 I've seen him clear. And that is a vital part of maybe why he's in the side every week. It makes us stronger in both boxes from set pieces.
Sabin with a Mannion with a goal kick. It's Hadmi was the man who got the flick on, but couldn't direct it infield. It goes out of play for a Shrewsbury throw. It's halfway inside the Shrewsbury half. On the right-hand side, Poole with it. Down the line it goes. Gillespie with the header. Hadmi will look for it. Little flick, good flick as well to Berry. Berry's got Campbell running ahead of him. Campbell might have just run too early.
Oh, that's close.
He did. Interesting to know whether or not the referee felt there might have been a foul on Berry there just as he let it go. No, maybe not. But Campbell, just the judge to have run just that fraction too early. It's offside.
Yeah, right decision. He was offside.
Shrewsbury take the free kick back to Savin.
Yeah, Yeah. So if you look at where our wing backs are starting, their front three, the two wider front players are going very wide, trying to pin our wing backs back into a back five, and we're trying to avoid that. We're saying, look, just trust the back three to go man for man, but I don't like seeing a back three spread the width of the pitch trying to mark man for man. But
it's a ball from Terry Small trying to send the Hadney through the middle after a bit of head tennis from
you look
back
now
to
where
front.
Ramsey is. You look, Small doesn't want to go back. Their front three are the width of the pitch, asking our back three to mark them. And Nathan Jones is very keen for our wing backs to not go into a back five too early.
Savin ball through the middle. Gillespie headers it away. Doherty trying to get there. Coventry does. Coventry lifts it over the top, asking Campbell to pursue it. He's got Feeney and Hull for company. Campbell. Hull gets the challenge in, but he concedes the corner.
He's a concentrate, isn't he? I just looked at Feeney's face and he's watching Campbell run in the corner thinking, do me a favour, mate, leave me alone. And he runs into a defensive position centrally because he doesn't want to come out here with Campbell. It's relentless running from Tyrese in behind that back line at every opportunity. Charlton fans in great voice away to our left.
Connor Coventry coming across in front of those fans. Well, just to the left of them, to be fair, as we look.
Got another second.
The goal came from the last corner. Can we do it again? It's Connor Coventry, hands in the air, sends the ball similarly deeply. This time, no Savin alive to that.
Too close to the keeper.
Back across his 6-yard box to claim. It's a throw-in that put Sego Jr. under pressure. He's forced to go backwards to Feeney. That out ball is going to be headed down by Lloyd. And again, looked like it might have been a handball there. Ball across from Ojo has found Hull. His ball forward to Castledine. Out to the right now, and Gilead. Gilead sends the ball into the penalty area. It's a header coming in from Lloyd. Mitchell just changed his mind. He was going to go for it. The ball was coming towards him. Instead of attacking it, he let the ball drop, and it allowed Lloyd to come and meet it. Fortunately for Charlton, the header was sailed over the bar comfortably as well. But
that's a hell of a leap. To be fair, that's a hell of a leap. He's come from deep. He's on the front foot. He's on the charge. That is really difficult for a centre-half. When someone's coming from 4 or 5 yards away, they've got the run, they've got the pace, they get above you, and they get the flight of the ball better than you. It's very, very difficult event, and all you can do is get your body in the way of the player jumping. That's literally all you can do. I'd like to see a bit of contact on the player coming in.
George Lloyd, one of 9 signings that Shrewsbury made in the closed season, free from Cheltenham.
Yeah, desperately trying to push our wing backs on. I mean, Ramsey is a great outball at this point, but it's very difficult to navigate your way through into play, out the other side and out to Ramsey.
Gillespie's throw by some fluke, because it slipped out of his hand, managed to find its way through to Hadmey, and he tried to send Campbell on his way, but put far too much on the pass. It's away for a goal kick, quickly taken. It's Ojo back to his keeper, who sends it highwards, high and forwards, to be met by Mitchell. Heads it into the corner. Hadmey chasing. Feeney just there first, but that's good pressure from Ramsey.
That's better. Listen, that's a really important header from Mitchell. If we're going to press high up and the goalkeeper goes long, our centre-halves have to win that first header. He did. He powered it back in. Then it becomes, can we press together quickly? You know, don't let Shrewsbury out whilst there's gaps appearing on the pitch. We didn't. We pressurised well there. Throw in Shrewsbury.
Connor Coventry meets that throw, heads it up towards Hadmey. Felt he was fouled, but he did get the chest control back. And now Doherty trying to send Campbell on his way, edge of the penalty area. Campbell up against Feeney by the touchline, trying to wrestle someone. He's dropped to the floor, and Charlton do have a free kick. The Charlton fans were calling for it before that because they felt that Feeney had a hunk of Campbell's shirt. Eventually the referee concedes that there was a foul there, and Charlton have one about a yard in from the goal line and about 2 yards outside the penalty area.
It's popping up everywhere, just down this left-hand channel, not more than 30-40 seconds ago, down the right-hand channel, and this time brilliant hold-up play, great strength to hold off the centre-half, turns out, draws contact, free kick in a very dangerous position. He really is working that back four so well today, Campbell, right across the line, both sides, in behind, big threat.
Coventry, free kick from the right-hand side, lifted across, headed away by Lloyd for Shrewsbury, but at the expense of a Charlton corner.
Yeah, I like that delivery. I tell you what, Lloyd's got a decent leap. You know, he's only 5'9", maybe 10. I'm going 9. Jumps like he's 6'4".
Excuse me, Charlton corner with Coventry on the right-hand side. It's a low one on this occasion. Doesn't get past Ojo. Clears it away. Ramsey the first to react for Charlton, but Ojo following it up, wins it. The head up, but only straight to Ramsey again, who's coming forward now. Ramsey, little touch right to Campbell in the penalty area. Campbell drills it across, and it's cleared away by Feeney, not once but twice.
Jones wide open, penalty spot, had to be cut back, but he's on the stretch. He looks up, he sees Hadmay at the far post, tries to find him. The cut back was on. Jones was free, nobody marking him. If you find him, well, we've seen his finish against Wigan, deadly from 6 yards.
Well, the opening 12 minutes of this half mirrors the opening period of the first half. The difference being, of course, Charlton have got the goal. And can we continue this form in the remainder of this second half? Throw into Doherty. He's pinned, but he gets the ball across. Just too high for Lloyd Jones, and it was across the penalty area and cleared away by Hull. It's going to hang up in the air, and then should be a Charlton throw. Oh, no, it's not. Definitely came off Gilead, but Small was very close, and I don't think the officials were entirely sure, so they've given it Shrewsbury's way. Castledine back to Hull. Ball forward though, straight to Gillespie. Gillespie up to Campbell. It looked like he was pushed, but Campbell retains possession. Ramsey on the right-hand side. He's in a lot of space on that right now. Ramsey, ball into the box. Oh, just sliding across is Ojo to get a block in, and
again from Campbell. I thought the run short was the wrong run, actually. He was under pressure coming towards his own goal, but he did well to fend off the pressure, keep possession, switch it out to Ramsey. He needs a goal. A perfect day would be able to win, and your front two scoring. We said that before the game. Can our front two get off the mark? One is, and kind of Tyrese's performance up to this point, certainly in the second half, is starting to warrant a goal in this, in this performance that he's putting on.
Small meets the dropping ball and then gets it back from Hull. Guides it back to Gillespie, who sends it long and high. It should stay in play, and Feeney's header up in the air. Hull will try and knock it further forward, but Coventry will get to the dropping ball, allows the ball to go out of play, in fact, so he can take the throw. And then leaves it for who will be Gillespie. Thought Small might take over, but it will be Macaulay Gillespie with the throw. It's 10 yards inside the Charlton half on the left-hand side. Gillespie with it. Hadmay down the line is the target. There's something on it. And Campbell, though, marshalled away by Feeney as the ball heads towards Savin. They'll collect it comfortably. We've had 60, the full hour and 25 seconds, and it's still Charlton a goal ahead.
It's very brave what they're doing, actually, to get control of this game. They are going toe for toe.
Berry in the middle, trying to send Campbell on his way. Cleared. Feeney up towards Sego Jr. Ramsey ushers him out of the way. Coventry just a little late on the challenge. I think he thought Ramsey was going to take that on. He didn't.
Yeah, he did.
And as a result, it sort of deflected off of Coventry away for a Shrewsbury throw.
I'm just trying to explain that we are allowing our back three and our sitting central midfielder to go 4-for-4, which pushes our wing backs on, stopping their full backs playing out. And it's just caused them enough issues at the moment that they can't get a foothold of the game. And the goals obviously put them on the back foot as well. But they just cannot get their game going at the moment, Shrewsbury. And it's brave from us. You know, you're basically leaving no room for error in that back line. A slip, a poor pass.
I've got to say, there's a ball gone out for a throw, and they've given it Shrewsbury as well. I was convinced that was Charlton, but it's been taken. Berry was the only one that really complained for Charlton. And it's now a goal kick as the ball forward from the Shrewsbury throw has gone out of play. Goal kick to the home side, and a scrappy last couple of minutes.
Yeah, but if we're forcing them long, I think that favours us.
Savin with a goal kick. Lloyd and Lloyd Jones battling, and Lloyd got something on it, but Thierry Small back there guides it back to Gillespie. Good ball forward. Hadmay can't get there, and then Campbell and Feeney tussle. Feeney stayed on the floor. Let's see what that was as the ball went forward. Maybe a sort of stray arm into Feeney from Campbell.
Yeah, and Nathan Jones is just, I was just about to say the same thing. I'm looking over and Nathan Jones has got his arm pointing to Tyrese Campbell going, I don't want you pinned there, I want you going. You know, don't get pinned, you can just read the bounce and spin. But I didn't like to see Lloyd Jones get pinned either by Lloyd, the centre forward. You know, that ball's come a long way, 70 yards, and you got stuck on the outside and got bullied on the inside channel. If you're going to get bullied on the outside channel. Certainly don't give the centre forward a chance to get on the inside channel.
Shrewsbury knock it long, Jones deals with it, and then Berry gets something on it as well, but sent forward by Shrewsbury. I think Berry might have just caught Benning as they both went for the ball. It'll be a Shrewsbury free kick, 15 yards or so inside the Charlton half. Charlton with everybody back. Campbell, the only Charlton player furthest forward, is standing in front of the free kick at the minute. The referee tells him to go away. It's going to be Benning, just slightly left of centre with this free kick. Benning sends it across. There's a header coming in there, and it's Castledine, I think, with the header, and he was. I think he was surprised himself just how easily it came to him, and he was unmarked, and probably feel he should have done better with that.
That's got to be worth 10 goals a season, that delivery. At some point, they're going to score 4 in a game from that delivery alone. It's a wicked consistency. It's got pace. It's got accuracy. It's begging to be attacked, and they're making a lot of first contact from it as well. Should have done better, Castledine, with that header down and into the opposite corner for me.
There's a battle in midfield there, and Coventry battling with Castledine. The judge to have fouled him, Coventry with outstretched arms. I think he felt that the crowd might have won that free kick, because the referee didn't look like he was going to give anything up to a point until there was consternation from the terraces. Quickly taken free kick, Benning into Sego Jr. Goes all the way back to Feeney. And that pressure from Campbell now will send it long and forward, looking for Gilead. Beaten to it by Gillespie. Poole coming back for Shrewsbury, guides it back to Feeney. It's good hustling from Berry, wins it back for Charlton. Coventry dumped to the floor by Gilead. He's complaining that was soft,
but listen, it's good pressure from Berry. You know, I thought we initially got small, nice and tight. Hadmade shouldn't have fought for that ball. He should have stayed with his man. But we've got enough players around the ball to pressurise, to get the turnover, to win the free kick. That wasn't happening first half.
Charlton free kick. It's Gillespie with it. Swings it across, looking for a Hadmade. It's headed away from him by Feeney at the expense of a throw-in on the far side. It's about 8 yards away from the corner flag. And Nathan Jones just remonstrated with the fourth official. I think Nathan's probably a little upset that Charlton have got 2 players in the book, and there's been a few consistent fouls from the home side that he feels have probably gone unpunished. Throw goes back to Mitchell. He tries to find Ramsey again, but in the way is Sego Jr. It'll be another Charlton throw. Lost a few yards positionally, but he's still on the right-hand side. Throwing it looking for Campbell, but Benning gets across. Puts his foot in the way, but it'll be another Charlton throw, this time 4 yards away from the corner flag. I think tempted to send Gillespie over there for a long throw, but there's nothing happening yet. Throw goes back to Mitchell. To Ramsey again, and again quickly in is Benning. It's another throw, the third in quick succession.
Yeah, he's not got too many options, has he? Back to Mitchell. Yeah, that's better. Hadmade's come across and offered up.
Just went over his head, unfortunately. But Hadmade still battling, and he's knocked to the floor. Charlton still have possession. Now it's lifted back across the penalty area, but onto the roof of the net. Hadmade felt he was dealt with unfairly there.
I think he's got a case. But the delivery was poor regardless. But yeah, you're backing in, you've got yourself up. There's no contact on the ball from the player and the challenge behind, so I think he has a case to question the referee there.
Coming up to 67 minutes gone, still Charlton with that goal lead given to them by Gassana Hadmade after 48 minutes. Berry with the header up towards Campbell. Campbell tried to go back to Coventry. He's giving it straight to Castledine. Out to his left-hand side is Benning coming forward. Benning lifts the ball across the penalty area. Small with the header away. It's going to drop to Coventry. put his foot on the ball, trying to send Small on his way down the left-hand side. Good footwork from Small. Just holds it up now and goes back to Gillespie. Not the best ball back to him, and it's put Charlton in trouble. Castledine takes over, gets the ball across the penalty area and headed away by Mitchell. And Small just apologising to Gillespie. That pass back to him put him in all sorts of trouble.
I didn't see the weight of pass. Could have Gillespie put his foot through that first time?
No,
he couldn't. Right,
no,
yeah.
Sort of bounced up at him as well.
Then it's horrendous pass back and unnecessary pressure that we're under. Actually, when he cut inside onto his right foot, Small, Campbell made a brilliant diagonal run away from the centre half on the right hand side. He should have hit right foot 50 yards over it. Missed opportunity.
Corner on the right hand side. This time it's Sego Jr. with it. It's come all the way through, and Feeney with a shot saved away by Mannion with his feet. There's a different corner taker on this occasion. Went all the way through to Feeney.
That is a big save.
Mannion saves.
Yeah, it's a big save. It's an acute angle, but if it doesn't hit Mannion's foot and doesn't find the back of the net, it is a tap in from 6 inches. It's a big right foot for Mannion. Very good save.
Sorry, my friend. The save goes all the way out for a throw-in. It's taken, but Coventry puts a foot in. I beg your pardon, Steve. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that we didn't get first contact. Flight of the ball. You know, everybody misread it. One bounce shouldn't happen. We've been very, very good at defending set pieces this year.
Throw goes into Gilead. Back to Hall, who sends it into the box. Mannion comes out assertively.
Do you know when he
comes,
when he calls and comes? I don't remember him having to fight too many players. Like he.
Well, if you were George Lord, you wouldn't get in his way, would you?
No, what I mean is, like, he comes and he's very assertive inside the penalty area. There's not many centre forwards going up with him. There's not defenders in his way.
Goal kick comes away. Feeney heads it up in the air, and then Campbell just runs into the other Feeney.
That's about as blatant as you'll see, sadly. And it's
gives away the free kick.
I'm not sure what he was thinking there, Tyrese, but.
Actually, given what's been on before, I'm surprised the referee didn't feel like giving Campbell a yellow card there, because he didn't make no attempt to get the ball.
And arm high and deliberate.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't forceful in as well. It's going to split a nose.
It wasn't pretty, I think.
That's a foul our way. Now that's better centre half play. Read the ball, dropping short, nipped in front. Centre forward fouls you. Excellent from Gillespie. Gillespie
is the man Steve Brown is talking about there. Gone in front of Lloyd. Lloyd forced to foul the Charlton man. It's Lloyd Jones currently over it. Little ball to Gillespie.
Sorry, can you see what I was saying about suffocating a game? Yeah, you can just sense that Shrewsbury, they're a nice tidy side. They play some nice football, but I just feel that they can be suffocated.
It's good pressure from Campbell after the ball forward. Looked like it was a lost cause, but even pressure on Feeney forced him to play it. And Charlton will have a throw 10 yards away from the left-hand corner flag. Gillespie coming to maybe send this in long, although Jones and Mitchell haven't gone forward as yet. Maybe they won't. If staying at the back, so Charlton just have a headmate in terms of an aerial presence. Gillespie's going to look for him as well. It's headed up in the air by Winchester. Coventry meets the dropping ball, but Castledine gets there first. Still pinging around the edge of that Shrewsbury penalty area. Gillespie out left to Campbell. Campbell looking to take on Gilead. Ball in field. Doherty back to Coventry. Got Gillespie to his left. Gillespie looks to swing this across. Ramsey is there. Headed up in the air. Doherty trying to get there, but Feeney beats him to it. And now Sego Jr. will look to clear away for the home side. Cuts inside Ramsey, who gets a foot in, no. And Charlton had possession. Well, I thought he had possession back, but Winchester just beat Coventry to the ball, and he's coming away with it on the left-hand side. Ball forward to Lloyd. Lloyd back to Benning. Good tackle from Ramsey to stop him in his tracks.
There's a lot of movement on both benches, Tel. We've got to the 71st minute or 72nd minute. And now there's going to be a shuffling of packs on both sides, I think.
The referee's halting proceedings for this throw while that can be done. It looks like Charlton are the first to react, although I don't know, actually. There's 3 Charlton players over there ready to come on and 1 Shrewsbury player, so it's to see who the first one off is, and it's Shrewsbury who make the first change, and it's going to be George Lloyd coming off. And coming on, I guess it'll be John Marquis, but can't see from this distance. I think
that's 29, so I'm going to go O'Reilly.
Well, Charlton made changes, and the forfeit, the board has gone all over the place. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who's going off.
Yeah, I mean, you've sat there all...
Therese Campbell's definitely come
You
off.
sat there all day, mate. One job.
Campbell has definitely come off. Daniel Carnu is definitely on. Just looking to see who's... I can't tell who's come on for Shrewsbury as yet, but...
I think it's O'Reilly. I think it's 29. Oh no, that's hard. So their players
all over the place.
Right, yeah,
absolutely all
okay.
over
Their
the place.
players come off, and our players come on 29.
Well, yeah, because so 9 has gone back. So Lloyd has gone back on actually. So forget that. Sago Jr. has gone off for the home side.
It's Tom Bloxham.
Tom Bloxham has come on.
Yeah. Good.
And I'll adjust the Charlton changes as and when. So Daniel Carnu has come on. We know that. Therese Campbell has gone off.
Zero that the fourth official. I've got to be honest.
Looking across again as Shrewsbury work it backwards.
So
Alan Campbell is definitely on as well.
Godden's on as well.
Campbell and Godden have come on. So Hadmate has kind of tries to send Godden through the middle. Didn't quite work. It's cleared away. So Hadmate, the goal scorer, is off. I think Luke Berry's the other one. As Shrewsbury have possession in midfield. Out to the right-hand side is Bloxham. Looking to take on Small. Goes backwards though to Hull. Good. His attempted cross is blocked by Gillespie. Small's clearance though goes straight to Bloxham, who sends the ball into the box. It's deep, or too deep. Although Lloyd might catch up with this and does. Back to Benning. Benning. Attempted cross is blocked away, and then Campbell can complete the clearance, although it goes sideways a little bit. And Benning wins it again, and there's a header coming in there by Gilead. It's found Lloyd. Gilead again. Shrewsbury keeping the pressure on. Ball into the box. Drop it to Castledine, and it's Lloyd in the box. What a save that is from Mannion, but the offside flag's up. Mannion had no idea about that. The shot from Bishop, he didn't catch all of it.
Yeah.
And Mannion on hand to save it with his legs, deflects it up in the air, catches it on the down, but the flag had gone up.
Yep.
Charlton, it's guilty. Maybe the substitutions
just
disorientated Charlton.
Disjointed us a little bit. Campbell caught wrong side, tracking back late. And we didn't get to that ball that bounced in the box. I thought that was ours. We didn't get across quick enough.
Free kick sent away. Godden reacting, gets something on it, and it'll drop to Carnu. Edge of the penalty area, takes a shot, a huge deflection, and just over the bar. I'm not sure that was on target before he hit it. Before he hit the deflection, maybe just wide of the left-hand post, but a deflection almost took it into the opposite corner.
Yeah, but energy and power. You know, Godden will catch centre halves out because he's a bit like George Lloyd, the centre forward for Shrewsbury. He does more than you expect with the height that he is in terms of aerial battles won, and he just flicks that into Carnu's pass, and it's good power, good pace, chests it in front of himself, and the drive is going wide. You're right, it's going wide of the left-hand post. Corner Charlton.
Connor Coventry with it. Sends it again deep. There's a header coming in. There's a push though by Godden in the build-up to that, which has gone against Charlton. His header found the back of the net, and he's adjudged to have pushed his man in the process, and the goal's chalked off. It remains 1-0.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any arguments there. He had to do that though. It wasn't going to reach him, so the only chance he had was to block off the player backpedaling. But yeah, free kick, right decision.
Sabin takes the free kick. Mitchell comes to meet it, heads it down. Godden will react. Back to Ramsey. Ramsey under pressure from Gilead, cuts inside. Cross to Gillespie. So it's Small out to the left-hand side. Carnu running into the channel, but it's Thierry Small on the left, just on halfway. Back inside to Gillespie. Swing this forward, looking for Godden, who's put the hand up in front of his face because it's straight into the sun. The headed clear goes straight to Doherty. Godden tussling for it. It'll drop to Campbell, trying to send Godden through the middle. It almost got there as well. Coventry will pick up the pieces. Out to the left is Small. And there's a good sliding tackle coming in from Hall, and he gets it off Thierry Small. He's not happy about it, but it is a Shrewsbury throw. Quarter of an hour, just less, 14 minutes or so of normal time. As Hall takes the throw down the line. Look, a push from Gilead, not given. As Jones Heads it once, then heads it again. Coventry tussling in there as the ball won't sit down. Campbell in the challenge as well, but Hall sticks a leg out, sends it forward. Mitchell in a foot race with Lloyd. He gets there first. Does well, Mitchell, actually. But Benning will pick it up for Shrewsbury. Down the line is Gilead. Back inside to Ojo. Across to Winchester in the central position in the Charlton half. Further right is Hall. Winchester goes on the overlap. Ball in field, looking for Bloxham. And actually Winchester kept his run going and goes to ground really softly, trying to get there. The referee waves away the penalty appeal, the third, I think, which the home side have had. Clearance drops to Campbell. Campbell looking to send Godden through the middle, and there's too much on it. Godden is incensed because he was away and clear.
And they're taking risks as a back line. They're holding a line that's unrealistic. Godden's clever enough to just peel off the shoulder and hold and stay on side. You've just got to put that on a diagonal. Just don't let it go through to the keeper. Anything in play over the top of that Shrewsbury back line, Godden's got a chance. I want to say how poor that was from Winchester. Don't like that. In fact, I'm going to go as far to say that should be a booking for simulation, actually.
Campbell gets to the dropping ball. Godden can't get the through ball because he was offside, but Kanu can make grounds, and now he just tried to pull the trigger with a shot. Feeney got there first, and Kanu's foot connected with Feeney. It's a free kick.
But they are starting to take risks, Shrewsbury, to try and get back into this game. There will be, I guess, opportunities like that. It's whether we can make it stick with the right run, the right pass.
Hall brings it forward, finds Bloxham. Back to Hall. Has to go back and inside to Feeney. He's got his namesake across to the left-hand side. Being pressured by Godden now.
Excellent work. Yeah,
has to go
excellent
back
work.
to his keeper.
Excellent work from the front two.
Savin sends it long down the middle. Lloyd Jones gets there first. Campbell can't get there. Run back through to Gillespie though, and the reason nobody else could get there is because Castledine fouls Coventry. There'll be a Charlton free kick halfway inside the Addicks half, and there's a double change coming from the home side now.
Yeah, expected, I would have thought. You know,
The
they're
fourth official gets this one right.
desperately trying to get back into the game.
Although I'm in the staring into the sun, so I can't actually tell. That's definitely now Lloyd coming off, as is Castledine. Coming on. It might be Shipley, although difficult to tell from this angle. And that's definitely Marquis, and also coming off is Winchester. So Lloyd. So Lloyd's been sent back on again. So
He's done that twice.
3 times he's tried to go off.
Yeah, well, I think he goes over to receive instructions, but you think he's going off, and he's not.
And coming on is Shipley and Marquis, and that's a good ball forward. Kanu from the Godden touch to Campbell. Campbell's got Small to his left. Small well advanced on this left-hand side. There's a ball inside to Coventry, but it's not on now, so it's to go back to Gillespie. Now Coventry is available on this left. Trying to go around the outside of Hull, but Hull across. Clears it away for a Charlton throw.
Yeah, and I love Tyrese Campbell to just come off. He's done brilliant today, Tyrese, by the way. But just look at the way Matty Godden reads play. He nicks in front of the defender last minute, holds that ball up, and look at the difference it's made by him getting in front of the centre half and holding possession. We're on top, we're in the final third, our back line's on the halfway line, our midfield's edge of the box. It makes a huge, oh, that doesn't help, throw-ins like that.
Throw-in comes in and it's read by Ojo. Small has to deal with this, back to Jones. Mannion on hand on the edge of the 6-yard box, will clear it forward. Hanging in the air. Kanu's going to come to try and get there. He gets a good header on it, but it's in the wrong direction. And Shrewsbury have it back with Marquis. Ball out to the left-hand side. But that's good tracking back from Doherty. That's a foot in off Shipley. And Mannion will clear it away for a Shrewsbury throw. And you suspect that it'll be all guns blazing for the home side in the final 9 minutes or so. Doherty, though, on hand to clear it away as they try to progress down the left-hand side. A back heel from Feeney into the path of Benning sends it down the channel, but Marcus will do really well to get hold of that, and he doesn't, as it runs away for a Charlton goal kick.
Yeah, you're at the stage of the game for Shrewsbury where this isn't a game plan. This is desperation, and it's just, can we conjure up an equaliser in the last 10 plus add-ons? What I would say, they have failed to score in 3 of the 5 league games that they've had up to this point. This will be 4 in 6. No, I don't bother about all that stuff. Hang on out there, do your jobs properly, we'll be all right.
There are thousands of people listening, screaming.
I don't care. They need to calm down.
No, forget the thousands, it's just me.
If they score, they score. But the point being, they are, it's last roll of the dice for them. They've made their changes. It's going to look at, to defend at times. It's not standard. It's not what you've studied all week in terms of what Shrewsbury do. This is last chance saloon for them to get an equaliser.
Feeney meets the Mannion goal kick, but his header goes straight out of play for a Charlton throw. It's just inside the Shrewsbury half on the right for Charlton. Mitchell with it. Down the line he goes. So, flicked on from... it looked like Godden had flicked it on, but he's adjudged to a foul, Benning in the process. Could be a Shrewsbury free kick on the left-hand side. Well, it was right by the touchline. I was going to say, it was right by the sideline, and the goalkeeper's pretty much in the central position in the half. It's gone across a couple of yards. And Savin in the sunshine will send this forward. Drills it. Mitchell underneath, clears it away against Ojo. Coventry trying to get there, does. Godden can't. Campbell in the challenge. Godden still battling away in there and gets a foot back to Doherty, who comes away with the ball. Doherty sends it through the middle. It might deflect kindly. No, Khan, who just can't get there before Savin comes out of his penalty area to the corner of his penalty area to claim it. Not out of it. Rolls it to Feeney. Feeney sends it through the middle. Jones will get there first, gets a header to it, picked up by Gilead.
Shape, you've got to get into shape better behind the ball, you're getting pulled about.
On the left-hand side is Benning. His ball forward to Shipley. Trying to send Benning back in the middle, and it's well read by Mitchell. Gets in front of him and clears it away. Ramsey in the right-hand corner, penned in a little bit. Finds Doherty, who sends it forward, and that's Kanu will touch it left to Godden. Lovely movement between Kanu and Godden. Connor Coventry offering himself as an overlap. Coventry heading towards the right-hand side. A ball into the box, cleared away, and it will be deflected out for a throw-in to Charlton. But it's good movement from the front pair to get Charlton on their way, and Coventry in support. Bust a lung to get up there. Yeah. And Charlton have a throw-in roughly 10 yards away from the right-hand corner flag.
That was excellent all round, wasn't it? Good composure, excellent decision to wait for support. Coventry not rushing the ball in, taking your time on the throw-in. Good stuff.
Ramsey and Doherty combined from the throw. Doherty trying to pick his way through 2 Shrewsbury players, but Shipley comes away with the ball, and then a pull back from Doherty. Again, I'm surprised the referee didn't go reach for his card on that, as Shrewsbury have a free kick on the left-hand side. Benning asking his keeper to come out to take it. We are in the final 5 minutes of normal time. Savin sends it long. Campbell with the header into Godden, trying to swing it across to Kanu, and straight to Benning. Kanu does well to pursue it and force him back to Feeney. Ball forward, looking for Shipley. Ramsey with the interception, and then Kanu dumped to the floor by Ojo. Charlton will have a free kick on halfway on the right-hand side.
Yeah, perfect. A little time waster in terms of running the clock down. He done well because it was wrapped into him, into Daniel Kanu. The first touch stuck on the back foot, and it just bobbled into the ground and up, and he just used his body so well, saw where the pressure was coming from, adjusted the body, got it in the way, took the contact. Free kicks like this in the last 4 or 5 minutes are invaluable. Forces the opposition back. You can load the front line, get man for man with a bit of cover behind the ball.
Coventry is going to take it. He's being asked to hurry up. So sends it towards the edge of the Shrewsbury penalty area. Goes all the way to Jones, who is forward and almost found him as well, but just headed clear. And now Shipley will complete the clearance, but straight to Coventry, who just guides it back to Mannion under pressure from Lloyd. Mannion will send it skyward up towards halfway. Ramsey looking to tussle, loses out to Shipley, but there should be a Charlton throw, and it is.
Yeah,
Charlton fans away to our left-hand side in good voice, urging Charlton to at least hold on, or even better in the final minutes.
Yeah, we spoke about what Charlton could do second half, because they were on the back foot for large parts of the first 45 in terms of being out of possession, and we said they could suffocate. And the wing backs moving forward, playing higher, more on the front foot, made a big difference. The goal obviously changes it as well.
Gillespie reads the attempted ball forward from Shrewsbury, but gets caught by Bloxham. Bloxham bringing it forward on the right-hand side for Shrewsbury. He's got Gilead in support. Gillespie makes it back. Ball across. It's picked out Ojo. Ojo, little touch forward to Marquis. Back to Benning. Cross to the left, and Shipley's cross is superbly blocked by Ramsey. Away for a throw into Shrewsbury.
Yeah, that's good work from the wing back. Nice and tight and across. They had the box loaded. They've got nothing to lose. 4 or 5 in there, all on the front foot, trying to lose their marker. Brilliant block.
Benning trying to pick out Shipley again. And, actually, Ojo's across there to win the ball back. And has it stayed in play? I'm not entirely sure what's happening. The referee's given a corner. Must have come off Campbell last. Out in that right-hand side, and Charlton have a corner to deal with in the final 2 minutes of normal time.
Yeah, so as much praise I give him the block, he's just got caught in possession there. Ramsey led to the corner.
Again, it's Ojo with it. Swings it high, deep. Good header away by Gillespie. Coventry gets there first, under pressure from Gilead. Sends it back to Gillespie, who came in support, and he sends it long and clear. And it'll stay in play as well. Benning has to come back to deal with it. His ball forward. Doherty will header it into the path of Carnu. It'll touch back to Doherty again. Small coming to help. Ball into the feet of Carnu, who runs into the penalty area. Ball across. Oh, it fizzes it at Godden, who can't get there. Almost took his head off. And Ramsey having to deal with this, but doesn't. And it's rescued by Coventry, who's then taken out by Marquis. And Connor looking at him, and they exchange words as Coventry pushes him away.
I don't agree with that. I'm pleased he's given it. Connor's has to go into that challenge. Connor Coventry, full power. He doesn't want to get hurt. Almost his follow-through catches Marquis. He can't do anything about it, Marquis. He can't get out of the way of that. He doesn't make a challenge. He doesn't complain, no. Takes the booking on the chin and we carry on. I never get those ones where a player follows through with a shot or a challenge.
A short free kick routine out to Ramsey, back to Mitchell, sends it forward. Benning with the header. Header from Ramsey. Benning clears it away. Jones gets a foot in, but it'll run to Bloxham. Bloxham sends it high and forward out to the left-hand side. Marcus looking for it, gets a header to Lloyd, gets it back Marcus, but that's good tracking back by Doherty to guide it back to Mannion, who sends it away. 3 minutes of added time here. Campbell in the middle, loses out then to Gilead. Gilead turns one way. Out to Hull on the right. Hull sends it forward, drills it through the middle. Jones calls for it and gets there. And touches it forward to Doherty. Well, his outball to Small has left him in a little bit of trouble. He does well though, Thierry Small. Gets it back to Gillespie. His ball forward though, picked off by Feeney. And it's now with Ojo. Gilead in front of him. Gilead up to Bloxham. Hull and Bloxham combined, but that should go out for a Charlton throw as Hull cannoned it against his teammate and away for a Charlton throw.
Yeah. And we've wrestled the game away from him, in truth, I think. Fully in terms of what Nathan Jones and his staff did, in terms of the players taking that on board, we've stifled Shrewsbury. They have had moments in this second half. But the all-important thing, we said this at Reading, the first goal is crucial. Wigan, first goal crucial. You know, and we've got our noses in front. And Shrewsbury really needed to take advantage in that first 45 minutes. When they had opportunities, they were on top, they didn't. And they've allowed Charlton to wrestle this game away from them.
Well, Ramsey trying to get in on a challenge on Benning. He's given away a free kick just inside the centre circle, although the keeper 7 is taking it a few yards inside, or outside the centre circle rather, towards his own penalty area. He's going to send this forward, Savin. launches it towards the Charlton penalty area. Jones comes to meet it, gets something on it, goes back towards the Charlton penalty area. Mitchell has to head it away, and Doherty will react and send it into the stands away.
See,
on the far side.
I think he can just curl that into the space for Kanu, but I get it. You know, we're running down the clock.
Into the final minute. Throw-in goes back to the keeper, Savin. Brings it out of his penalty area. Will send it long. Doherty underneath this, gets his head down. Come all the way out here to Hall on the right. Ball outside to Bloxham. Bloxham with Gillespie closing him down. Back inside. Oh! Feeney well forward in this attack. Out to Bloxham once more. Bloxham trying to take on Gillespie. Gets his cross. Cannons off of Gillespie. Coventry does likewise by canning in the ball off Feeney, and it's away for a Charlton throw.
Yeah, there's a little row going on between Bloxham and Feeney. Frustration there from the Shrewsbury players. Gillespie's been on his haunches about 3 or 4 times in this second half, like he's got nothing left in the tank whatsoever. There's a booking for
Coventry, I think, was it?
I think Coventry, yeah. He kicked the ball, he kicked so there was 2 balls on the pitch. He deliberately put one back in play so there was 2 balls in play.
Gillespie with a throw down the line. Looking for Godden, headed away by Hall. Drops to Bloxham, but Campbell is there and he's asking Kanu to chase it. And there's the final whistle before Kanu can get there. Time is up and Charlton have the 3 points in what has been a battle here in Shropshire at the Crowd Stadium. First half that saw Addicks on top for the opening 10 minutes, a quarter of an hour potentially, but then the home side took control and Charlton had to really battle to keep the home side at bay. In truth, Mannion didn't have a huge amount to do in terms of goalkeeping action, but there were plenty of opportunities for the home side which they didn't take advantage of, and Charlton defended well. Second half, Charlton came out, different story. With the Addicks on top again in the opening quarter and out of 20 minutes, and we took the lead on 48 with Gasson Ahadmi's first goal for the club after Lloyd Jones had knocked it back across from a kind of Coventry corner to get it on the score sheet, and that's ultimately what has decided the game. The home side, after the substitutions, did get a few half chances, but in truth I think Charlton looked reasonably safe at the back, as they have done for many of the games we've watched so far. So 3 points on the road for Charlton. Stevie Brown, everybody will be going home happy.
Well, you look away to our left, Charlton players are filtering across. They're in the sunshine, they're all up on their feet, they're all cheering because, you know, the oldest cliche in the book is winning is kind of everything tell. And I was a little bit fearful after the first 45 minutes. I thought we let them take control of the game from about 20 minutes onwards, and they stayed in control pretty much up till half-time. And I thought we came out a different animal second 45. We were more aggressive. We pushed our wing-backs on higher. We got our nose in front with a well-worked set piece. Jones peeling off to the far, heading it back across goal to the opposite post. Ahadmi piling it in from half a yard out. And once we got our nose in front, in truth, I wasn't really sat here at any stage thinking they're controlling the game, we're in trouble here. They did have moments, and Mannion made one really good save low down to his left-hand post with his right foot. But quite honestly, we suffocated them, we disjointed their performance, and they really didn't have enough quality in their ranks to get the game back in their favour. So it's a brilliant 1-0 victory, and for many, many reasons a really, really important victory. You know, you've gone lost-draw. We spoke about good sides don't go lost-lost. Well, we've gone lost-draw and backed up those two with a win against a side that we were expecting to win at, and they're important ones. You lose today, it has more of an effect if you draw or lose this one than the other 2 games. So it's a brilliant way to round off the week. It's another clean sheet. It's another 3 points. And I say the training ground will be a nice place to be at Monday morning.
Well, it doesn't stop here, because on Tuesday night, of course, we have the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, where we travel to Cambridge. If you can join us, if you're able to, EFL and Trophy, excuse me, broadcasting restrictions allowing, we hope for your company, but failing that, You may even want to be there up at Cambridge. We'll love for you to be there as well. But in the meantime, from all of us here on Charlton TV, my thanks to Stevie Brown, of course, as always. Cheers, Steve.
Always a pleasure.
My thanks to Diana back in production at the Valley for bringing you this Charlton TV production. And my thanks to everybody for listening and watching us here this afternoon. A win for Charlton on the road here in Shropshire. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. From all of us here at Charlton TV, take care. Good night.